1-800-8000.
A London court has handed the former head of Formula One racing a 17-month suspended sentence on a tax fraud conviction.
Bernie Ecclestone was for decades the face of Formula One. In 2015, he failed to tell tax inspectors looking into his affairs that he had a trust in Singapore with a bank account containing around $650 million US. The court heard he accepted that was misleading, but he was motivated by a desire to bring the investigation to an end and avoid paying large fees to his lawyers. He was sentenced to 17 months in prison, suspended for 2 years. The judge took account of his age, he will be 93 later this month, and his guilty plea. Ecclestone has now agreed a civil settlement to repay more than £650 million to HM Revenue and Customs to settle his tax affairs over an 18-year period.
The BBC's Simon Jones. Germany's government has legislation aimed at easing deportations of unsuccessful asylum seekers. News and analysis at townhall.com. Author Salman Rushdie has written a memoir about the horrifying attempt on his life.
That attempt left him blind in his right eye and with a damaged left hand. Knife, Meditations After an Attempted Murder will be published April 16th. This was a necessary book for me to write, a way to take charge of what happened and to answer violence with art, Rushdie said in a statement Wednesday. In August 2022, Rushdie was stabbed repeatedly in the neck and abdomen by a man who rushed the stage as the author was about to give a lecture in Western New York. Keith Peters reporting.
The United Auto Workers Union has escalated its walkout against Detroit's 3 automakers, shutting down Ford's largest factory and threatening Jeep maker Stellantis. 8,700 members of the UAW left their jobs at Ford's Kentucky factory in Louisville last night. That's Ford's truck plant, makes heavy-duty F-Series pickups, among other vehicles. More on these stories, townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that's older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travelist said, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy Thursday, everybody.
Yep.
Football Thursday.
Ooh,
Do
yes.
not forget, tonight the Goddard Rockets will begin their district play on the road, taking on Mayfield. That game will be in Mayfield tonight.
Yes.
I know, it's not Friday. It's Thursday.
Man.
But in Thursday, they have a lot of schools in Cruces and with referees and all this stuff. So the game is tonight. We will have audio only for you of the game tonight on our sister station, 106.1 FM here on the radio. That's always audio only because we haven't figured out how to make pictures on radio yet.
We're trying. We're trying.
We tried smell-o-vision too, but we had
The closest we came is HD radio.
Yeah.
It's just finding stuff in between the channels. That's the closest we came.
And then experiment with the smell-o-vision radio produced less than desirable results.
We burned 3 dashboards. It wasn't totally our fault.
Yeah.
But when you listen to the sound of a crackling fireplace, I would say it's on you.
Yeah.
I would argue that's your fault.
Well, if your cars had less plastic, it wouldn't burn so much, the plastic, and would smell that instead. But anyway, so we haven't
rolling coal or rolling rubber.
So we haven't invented that technology yet.
Not quite there.
It'll be audio only radio, but also on a video. The video side, it'll be just audio only. KSVPTV.com. We've got crews at other places tonight. We couldn't send a crew to Las Cruces. And normally, they have a great video program there in Cruces that they do at the high school and everything. And however, they don't do it on Thursdays, just on Fridays. So just audio only for the game tonight. We'll have Jeff Matthews from Las Cruces. He's one of our partner sister stations there in Cruces. They're going to bring us the game for us, and we'll have it right here for you on 106.1 FM Fierro. Kickoff at 7 o'clock tonight. Pregame start roughly around 6:45.
I would call them our step-sister stations because our sister stations, 106.1
Partner
Fierro
stations,
FM,
maybe you would call that.
I prefer step. I kind of prefer stepsister.
Okay.
It implies a lot more naughty connotations if you know the right search terms.
It could. That's true. And well, these are other groups that sometimes we have to get naughty with them. I'm just kidding.
Just a little spanking.
We have a group of stations around the state that we all work really well together as far as, helping each other out when it comes to football games, or like when teams from like Farmington come down to us, we try to accommodate, and vice versa.
Of course.
When radio
especially when
groups,
it comes to sports, because that's about the kids.
We all visit each other. Now, video rights and all that gets territorial. That gets like that water and Texas fights kind of thing going on sometimes. But But we'll definitely have that stuff for you here tonight. And then, of course, tomorrow night is, one could argue, the biggest game in the state of New Mexico tomorrow night, as the 1 and 2 square off to determine who's going to move inch ahead in the rankings and in the district race and everything else. Of course, the game we're talking about is Roswell Coyotes hosting the Artesia Bulldogs tomorrow night at the Wool Bowl.
Yep.
You will want to make sure you get yourself a good seat for that game.
Indeed.
Pack the Wool Bowl tomorrow night. Artesia's going to bring their faithful, and they're going to fill that whole visitor side up with a sea of orange. I hope, expect, and demand of you to do the same on the home side. Wear your red, though, not orange. Wear red.
Go
fill that side
red.
with a sea of red, and let's root on the Coyotes here for a big game.
I would argue this could be bigger attendance-wise and, honestly, importance-wise than the Roswell Goddard game. Because, that game has a lot of local significance, obviously.
Well, in the terms of rankings and stuff, where Artesia and Roswell
We're really front-loading the district season.
Yeah.
Honestly, we're putting number 1 and number 2 straight
But
in.
here's
straight
the
in
beauty of this
soup.
time of the year. We're inter-district play. All the records, all of that really goes out the window.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, when it comes to playoff time, this stuff is factored into some of these teams on who gets in and who gets out.
But we're back at square one.
For square one, you control your own destiny. You win all your games, you're probably going to win your district, and you're definitely going to the playoffs. So, yes, if you look at rankings and stuff, Artesia, Roswell, they're the top 2, and Goddard's not far behind.
Not at all.
But Goddard wins tonight. They go on and get a couple wins against Roswell and Goddard, and all of a sudden we're talking about Goddard.
Mayfield smoked Deming. If Goddard smokes Mayfield, then we got ourselves a district. A couple potatoes in there, you got yourself a stew.
But you're right. Tomorrow night's probably, as of right now, the 2 best teams in the state are squaring off, and it's going to be a good game.
Real slobber knocker.
But the Mayfield game will be a great one tonight too. So make sure you tune in for that one. If you can't venture off to Las Cruces to be in the stands to root on the Rockets there.
And, of course, audio coverage with scoreboard at ksbptv.com.
Yes, no video tonight, just audio only, audio on the video stream. So if you go to KSVP TV normally to watch the games, you will be able to, but you'll just be able to listen to it with a visual scoreboard.
Yeah.
I think, I'm not sure if it's Tanner or Roy that'll be in the, I'll be putting the radio stuff on tonight. Well, Tanner or Roy, I think, will be doing the video side. So, but that'll be tonight. What else was I going to mention? Oh, we have a whole lot of stuff happening on Saturday, and we're going to cover some of it in the rundown today, but there is so much. If you're looking for things to do on Saturday and you say there's nothing to do, that is completely your fault.
Exactly.
Just give me right off the rundown off the top of my head. So Saturday is the big solar eclipse day, if you're not familiar. About roughly around 10:30 Saturday morning is going to be the peak spot time. It goes from about 9:30 to about 11:30, the whole event.
If you've seen the trajectory, we're like right in that sweet spot.
The burning, the Ring of Fire eclipse. So that's Saturday. And so there's events kind of around it. Of course, the city is having their big science and art fair that's from 10 to 4 that day. And they're going to have NASA guys and experts and all the other fun and games that are going on there, too.
Right.
So that's one thing. Also happening that day is the interview we're going to replay here this hour for you. We had the folks from Tobosa Developmental Services join us yesterday. This Saturday, actually Friday and Saturday, it's 2-day event, is their big Stepping Out for Children event they do every year where they have their big carnival games and you get to learn all about the different facets of Tobosa, as well as other nonprofits and everything. So that's the 2-day event this weekend, Friday, Saturday. So we'll play that interview. But that's this weekend. Also this weekend, which we'll talk about next hour, Amy McVeigh-Tejas is going to join us from the Historical Society. On Saturday is their Books and Blooms event. That's going to be taking place there from 10 to 2. That's the one I got. It was 10 to 4 for the arts, the Science and Art Fair, 10 to 2 for the Books and Bloom event, where they're going to have Farmhouse Roots with the tulips and the flowers. And, of course, we'll have a historic book fair where we're rare, out-of-print collectible books that we have many, many copies of. We offer for collectors to purchase and raises money for the Historical Society. So that event's also on Saturday.
Turns out that archive's actually an archive.
It is. If you want old photos of this area for like your business, your office, or your home, go on down to the archives facility. They'll give them to you.
Yeah.
Give a donation. Say, hey, looking for some old photos here. Can I go and
slide a couple bucks across the table and see what happens? Hey, I'm
say New England clam chowder.
Yeah.
And do 2 knocks. No, I'm just kidding.
And
then so that event is also on Saturday. But wait, there's more.
But wait.
So in the 9 o'clock hour today, I'm going to have the folks from Tabernacle Baptist Church join us. They, on Sunday, are celebrating their 95th year anniversary revival service.
Dang.
95 years. They're going to have special music, testimonies from the past, food, of course, and all kinds of other great stuff, too, on their Sunday service this Sunday. So they want to invite everybody out. So we're going to have Pete Merlo join us in the 9 o'clock hour today to talk about their 95th anniversary celebration here on Sunday.
I want to have testimonies from the future.
That's what I want.
That's what I'm looking for.
I'm from your 200th. I'm from your 200th anniversary.
I'm here from 25, 75, and stuff gets bad.
And in my head, they're in a DeLorean.
Yeah,
they come off in a DeLorean. But the version that flies with the food processor in the back, not the train version, not the OG, but the flying one that you could put banana peels in the back.
Roads. We don't need roads.
That's the one I want. So, anyway, but so there's your rundown and a cornucopia of events.
I'm telling you,
that are happening here on this weekend. Really,
busy
it's not just
Saturday.
Absolutely,
for sure.
All right, it is 7:16. Let's take a look at your weather, which I think will cooperate with all of said events. So you're welcome, even though I had nothing to do with it.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We have cold front moving through the area. That'll bring us very gusty wind off and on today. Wind up to 25 or 30 miles an hour at times, and very warm. Our afternoon high in the upper 80s with sunshine. Overnight will be clear, low 50s, and then cooling off a little bit on Friday. Sunshine, not as windy, and about 75. Mid-70s and sunny on Saturday, and then upper 70s and sunny Sunday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 68 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 36%. Winds are going to be blowing today, and it says it's already breezy. I'm trying to look at my weed tree. I don't see much movement, but it says right now winds are out of the south at 10, gusting to 21, so we'll see. But for today, expect sunny skies with a high of 87. Winds will be breezy today, initially out of the south, 10 to 15 miles per hour, but increasing out of the west, 15 to 20 miles per hour for later today. Tonight, clear skies with an overnight low of 50 degrees. Winds will be out of the northwest, 10 to 15 miles per hour. For you Friday, cooler. I'm guessing some of these breezes blowing through are bringing in cooler temperatures. Sunny on Friday with a high near 75 degrees. Northwest winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. For you Friday evening, mostly clear, overnight low of 46, so chilly. Might want to bring a light jacket if you're going to be out at the Wool Bowl, which you better be on Friday night. Saturday, mostly sunny and 75. Northeast winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Later shifting to the south Saturday afternoon. And then Sunday, sunny skies, 76 they're now saying for a high on Sunday. They were talking like 80. So looks like mid-70s for your weekend and Friday, really. So 87 today and then cooler next couple days. All right, it is 7:18. We're going to take about a 4.5-minute break, and then we're going to play our interview we had yesterday with Michelle and Kurt Nicole from Tobosa Developmental Services talking about their big Stepping Out for Children event that's happening this weekend here on the Chaves County Courthouse lawn Friday, Saturday. So, again, like I said, all these events going on. That's just one of many. But we'll play that interview here on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Roswell High, along with Farmers Country Markets, Dion's Pizza, Salads, and Subs, McDonald's, Cattle Baron, Wakefield Oil Express, Dunkin' Donuts, Texas Roadhouse, and 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM are proud to present the September Teacher of the Month, Elizabeth Nahar. Mrs. Nahar teaches 11th grade English and is a yearbook advisor. This proud ENMU grad is also the proud mother of 2 beautiful children. Now in her 2nd year at Roswell High and her 8th as an educator, Mrs. Nahar pushes her students to be their best. As nominator Anahi Dominguez says, she truly cares for all her students. Congratulations, Elizabeth Nahar, September's Teacher of the Month.
Hey, Jennifer from Trustmark Roofing. Trustmark is one of the only roofing companies that's also a licensed commercial and residential general contractor.
Wow.
I know, who cares, right? Well, you should care. You see, a licensed roofer can install a new roof on your home, but really can't handle structural problems underneath. So if your roof needs reframing or your chimney needs a water diverting cricket, you may need to call a licensed general contractor. And coordinating 2 companies for your roofing job can get costly and messy fast. As a licensed roofer and general contractor, Trustmark can install a stunning new roof on your home and handle structural issues. This saves you time, money, hassle, and even makes it easier to file an insurance claim. Call today for your 20% off coupon for our spring roof and gutter maintenance service. 575-755-ROOF or visit us at trustmarkroofpros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
Oasis Computers has been Roswell's trusted source for home and small business computers for over 30 years, and they continue to be your best resource for computer repairs, operating system upgrades, web root managed antivirus, special orders, and more. Oasis Computers is now open from 8 to 1, Monday through Friday to better serve you. Service calls by appointments and after-hour appointments are available too. Stop by Oasis Computers at 1703 North Garden or call or text 575-625-9141 for even faster service.
We teach our kids to say please and thank you to total strangers, but we get so familiar in our marriages and families, we stop being polite to each other. Hi, this is Pastor Troy and my wife, Miss Julie Smotherman, for the Joy of Marriage.
In the love chapter of 1 Corinthians 13, it says that love is patient and kind. Love is not jealous or boastful or proud or rude. We emphasize being polite to each other in our family, which promotes an attitude of respect and brings peace in our home. Remember your manners with the person you love the most. Appreciate the things they do for you and let them know.
Being polite to each other can help you avoid conflict. Let's be polite to strangers, but let's not give our best to the people we don't live with. Let's give our best to each other.
If you have any questions or would like further information about the Joy of Marriage Ministry, please go to jomconference.com.
Discover a rewarding career in public service. The New Mexico Human Services Department is ready to hire for over 100 data entry positions, including opportunities to work from home. Apply and interview same day at the Rapid Hire event on Thursday, October 19th in person at New Mexico Workforce Connection Centers located statewide. Bring multiple copies of your up-to-date resume, professional references, proof of right to work in the U.S., and dress for success. Join us October 19th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. and give back to your community through dedicated service in state government. We hope to see you there. For more information, contact your local New Mexico Workforce Connection office.
Hey neighbors, there's a new source for all your appliance needs in the area. We're Roswell Appliance Outlet. We sell new minor scratch and dent appliances and we'll help you save 40 to 60% off of MSRP. All come with warranty and personalized service. We also offer parts and service for your existing household appliances. We offer financing and delivery options as well. Don't make that big box store mistake. Come see us at Roswell Appliance Outlet today at 600 South Main in Roswell or call 575-363-9236.
After a week off, it's back to business for your Roswell Coyotes. And coming up this Friday night, your Coyotes are back home at the Wool Bowl, taking on the Bulldogs of Artesia High. 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM and KSVPTV.com have got you covered. Join Art Sandoval and Kelly McDonald for the pregame show beginning at 6:45 and kickoff at 7. Coyotes versus the Bulldogs of Artesia High. Friday night beginning at 6:45 on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM and online at KSVPTV.com. Southeastern New Mexico's sports authority, then, now, and always.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. U-Haul is the world's largest advertiser in the Yellow Pages. Too bad millennials don't know what the Yellow Pages are. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 20 minutes after 9 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from Tobosa Developmental Services, we have Michelle Pruitt, Nicole Dean, and Kurt Harrison as well. Good morning, guys. How are y'all doing today?
Good morning.
Welcome. First, Nicole's been here a while, but for you two, welcome to the show.
Thank
Good
you.
morning. How you doing? And of course, now, you guys have because you're both kind of up there you're the director now, right?
I'm director of children's services.
The director of children's services. And Kurt, what's your title?
I'm the CEO.
CEO. That's kind of a big one. That one I heard. A CEO. So,
Yeah.
So the buck sort of stops with Kurt. Good deal. So, and of course, Nicole, you've been on, I don't know, too many times.
Too many times.
So. But for folks not familiar, Los Pasitos and the whole Tobosa Developmental Services it's actually an organization that has multiple fronts and facets. Probably the first thing people know Tobosa for is helping people with developmental services, job coaching, housing, life skills, helping folks navigate and navigate life that have developmental issues, things like that. That's one facet. The other facet is the Los Pasitos side, which is children's services. If you have a child 3 and under, you wanna keep Los Pasitos handy because they're the ones that help families deal with some of those early diagnosis and stuff that they're finding now at that level as opposed to school age. Things like dyslexia, being on the spectrum, hearing or vision issues, things like that. These are the types of things that Los Pasitos helps families free of charge, by the way. All those doctor services and everything they do free of charge. And then the third side is kind of the child care. If you need daycare services or child care services that are going above and beyond to just having an adult in a room with your kids, then there's the child care side of things. So, and I think that pretty much covers the gamut of Tobosa, right? Or did I miss some?
We also have a home visiting program, so that's prenatal till 5-year-olds.
Okay.
So we help with kind of a prevention aspect of that as well with parenting. And so they work with a little bit wider range. And then we also have a child parent psychotherapy program that's at birth to 5 years old as well.
Okay. So predominantly, if you have issues with your up to and 3 and 5 in some cases here, Los Pasitos, Tobosa, they're going to have resources and availability for you here on that too. So that being said, it's a great organization. By the way, always looking for more members to volunteer and serve and work and do a part of that. But one of the things we definitely want to put on people's radar is the annual Tobosa's 5th annual event. It's called their Stepping Out for Children event. And if you're looking for a place to have fun, games, rides, but games and food and carnival-like atmosphere, by the way, you can also learn about not only all of Tobosa's services and things, but they'll invite other nonprofits that kind of fit the parameters of kind of what like Tobosa does, or things that are adjacent to what families need that are similar to that need Tobosa services probably would also benefit from some of these other
supporting
organizations.
Agencies.
Yeah, exactly. So you come out and you let the kids and dad or whoever's the immature one run around and play the games and eat food, while the mature one in the family can go and learn some of these some services and learn more about some of this kind of stuff. So that's what the event's about, pretty much. Good deal. So what's plotting and planning for this year's event here?
Well, we've got probably between 16 and 20 vendors.
Okay.
And again, they're all supporting agencies that help support us.
Good deal. So, and of course, if you don't know, it's usually right there on the Chavez County Courthouse lawn. It'll be, so this particular event will be October 14th, which is this Saturday, just a couple days away. It'll be right here on the Chavez County Courthouse lawn. So when you come out, now this will be 1 to 4.
Yes.
So it'll be, so if it's in the morning, I think, are they doing one more farmer's market?
Yeah,
or
they are.
So there'll be one more farmer's market this Saturday morning. So get there early and get produce and everything. But about noon, 11, that's all going to shift over to the Los Pasitos stuff here. So, but that'll get underway from 1 to 4. So you can get there early and get some produce, and then hang around for the fun and everything else afterwards here. So, good deal. But yeah, you're going to see a lot of booths, a lot of different things, food. If you leave hungry, that's kind of your own fault.
We're going to have quite a few food trucks going to be out there, and then we also are having giveaways. We're not selling tickets this year. We're just giving them away. So you have to be present to win for those.
So just be in the right place at the right time for some of this stuff, you know?
Exactly.
Step on out. But kind of, for just kind of explain for the folks that are looking for some of the servers and stuff, talk about some of the information at some of the different booths and things that you guys will be having there. Like what kind of stuff can they enroll kids and that kind of thing on some of these things, or is it just really informational at the event?
It's really just more informational that we're going to have. We will have referrals there for our agency.
Okay.
And I'm sure other agencies will also have referrals. CYFD will be out there. We partner with them a lot with a lot of our kiddos.
I would imagine you probably work hand in hand with many families with them and other organizations similar to that.
Absolutely. CASA's another huge one that will be out there as well. So just different churches will have bikes out there that kids can sit on motorcycles if they want to.
Nice.
Just a whole wide variety of things.
It's just a fun family carnival-like event for a Saturday afternoon. You come out, and and even if you're not looking for service and stuff, you just want to have a fun family event to spend the afternoon with your kids and family. Come bring them out, play the games, eat the food, have fun, experience all the fun stuff. And who knows, you might come across a booth that you find out, wow, that's something we really could benefit with. Or maybe find a nonprofit organization there that you really like and support and want to volunteer or want to do, or you need their services. Either way, that come for the fun, and you might accidentally learn something. That's kind of what we're hoping here. You stumble into some education. Now, as far as any, that doesn't cost anything, but like if they're wanting, like you said, it's more informational. Is there documents or things that are useful to you guys that sometimes if they had handy when they're going through this, like if they have questions and stuff, like if there's medical records or like is there anything that would be useful to you guys at the event that maybe parents could bring along with them if they wanted to do more of the, not the fun stuff, but more of the, I need to get my kid taken care of kind of stuff?
Honestly, if they have their name and their phone number, we can get a hold of them and get all that information.
The rest we can figure out there. So you don't need to bring shock records or medical records or any type of history or anything for your children. That we can do at the office kind of thing.
Exactly. All that boring stuff later.
That way you might get like soda on your papers or something, or get all sticky or something, funnel cake. You don't want that to happen.
No.
So. And by the way, I'm going to put the rule on this one too. So, and my rule is whenever you go to the fair to eat fair food, if you eat the fair food at the fair, the calories don't count. But the moment you take the fair food off the fair to eat it, the calories double. So we're going to put that umbrella on this event Saturday. If you eat the foods there at the event, no calories. But the moment you walk out of the courthouse lawn and start going to your car eating it, double. That's what's going to happen. So
I like that rule.
So feel free to eat all the funnel cake, all the things that you keep telling people, I'm supposed to do. Indulge. On this Saturday, you can indulge. So come have some fun with that too. Good deal. As far as if they're not available for this event on Saturday, they can't come out, but they're listening, they're thinking, hey, I need to set up a point. What's the best way for a family to say for Los Pasitos if they want to do some of the screenings or anything to see if their children qualify for some of that? How does that process? What do you recommend families do to get that process started?
Honestly, they can just call in self-referral. So our number is 575-623-0849.
She nailed it. I got the cheat sheet.
Thank you. Yeah, that's one of the ones I have memorized. That and my own.
That's right. I barely got that one.
Yeah, but they can just call honestly and make a referral over the phone. We can take that down.
And it's that simple.
It's that simple.
Okay.
They just give us their child's name, their date of birth, their name, their address, phone number, and just the area that they're concerned about. You know, hey, my kid's 18 months old and they're not quite walking yet. You know, just that. And then we have a process where we take that referral, give it to one of our intake and evaluation coordinators, and them along with the family service coordinator call the parent. They set up a meeting to do all that paperwork, you know, where they get their doctor's offices, like medical releases, that we can see if there's anything medical going on, any other type of underlying issues as well. Then they set up a completely free evaluation. That's with 2 of our service providers that we can do evaluations at our office, at the home.
Whatever's convenient for the family, basically.
Convenient for the family. And we do that, and then based off of those results, then we schedule an individualized family service plan, similar to like an IEP in the school districts.
Great.
And then we just come up with a plan of action.
To
just
get
go
them
from there.
to get them where they and again, all this done free of charge for the family. That no out of pocket money for the family. This is all what Tobosa does here for this kind of stuff. So I don't care who you are. If you have a child that's under 3, check it out, and that's just it. Where and science and medical tech, like when we were kids, you didn't see glasses being put on children until they entered school, and now you see these little cute blue glasses for infants. Just about.
Oh, they're
always been
adorable.
blue, the ones I've seen. I know they come in other colors, but I think there's pink ones for girls and blue ones for boys and all that. But you're literally seeing babies now wear glasses and things, and it's because of this kind of stuff you're seeing at Los Pasitos. They're able to diagnose and find these paths to these learning disabilities at that young of an age, and because they can do it that age, they can start the path to train them to overcome whatever it is, or whatever medically needs to be done to reverse it. You know, it depends on obviously what it is and how, you know, like dyslexia, things like that. More of that's like training them how to learn and deal with dyslexia and stuff. But when they're learning it at 1 as opposed to 8, it makes a big difference on that kind of stuff. So this is why if you have a child, and even if you have a modicum hint of like they're behind socially or something,
even if you just want to know, even if you don't think that they're behind, you want to know where they're at in each area of development.
Absolutely. And by all means, talk to your primary care doctor. They'd be happy. They recommend all the time. Your pediatricians and primary care family physicians are always recommending. You should send your child over to Los Pasitos. Let's get a referral and let's get the ball rolling on that, because at the end of the day, your primary doctor's a jack of all trades. The Los Pasitos people, this is what they do all day, every day. They do nothing but help children at this age with these kind of things. Your doctor, he's got to do that and then set the bone, or fix the flu and do all the other things that a doctor does. So you're getting people that do nothing but this kind of thing working on your kids. So please reach out to them on that too. And then conversely, if you want to learn more about maybe your family's new to the area and you have members with special needs that need resources for life skills, job training, come out to this event too and ask. There'll be someone there that can help you with all of that. And and I know I will tell you this: this group of people did yeoman's work during COVID when COVID hit this town, and all of your job had to keep going, even though everything you do goes against the things that COVID was kind of talking about at that. But at the same time, you can't do what you guys do unless you're there, interacting, talking, hugging, that's the job. And you guys kept doing it. I mean, you had staff isolating themselves at these homes with these families, ignoring their own families so they could take care of these other families during this time. And that's the kind of people you're going to meet when you come out to the Stepping Out event, is people that are nothing but dedicated to families and stuff like that. So come have fun. And, we're talking about all the serious stuff, but on Saturday, all you got to do is come out and eat some corn dogs or popcorn and play some games. And it's going to be a high of 75 tomorrow on Saturday. So
perfect weather.
Come on. That's a beautiful day to be hanging out in the courthouse on. You get, even when you're done eating, go find a tree or something to lean up against and let that all settle while the kids are running around. I mean,
the free calories.
Yeah. If you let them digest there, you get lose weight.
Yeah, it's reversed. It reverses itself. Yeah.
Absolutely here, but definitely. And, of course, if you have any questions about anything, you can always call 575-623-0849. Tobosa.org is Tobosa Developmental Services website. If you've bookmarked the old one, you're going to need to change it because if you go to the old one, you're not going to get the latest information and things there. But Tobosa.org, you can always Google search it too if you want. Tobosa Developmental Services has also Facebook and all that. So if you're a Facebook user, shoot a message. I think there's a Los Pasitos one and a Tobosa.
Tobosa, and we have a Little Steps.
The Little Steps Daycare Center too, which if you want to learn more about fees and the program and all involved there, come on out to the event on Saturday. There'll be people to tell you about Little Steps too, and I bet you can even see some of that in action and see some of the activities and things that they do during the day and all that kind of stuff, so you really understand, why Little Steps is different than just a typical daycare center. It's actually doing things while your kids are, you know what I mean? You're actually starting that path to learning and all that stuff. They don't realize it. They just think they're playing fun and games and goofing off, but they're learning stuff. But that's what Little Steps does. You can learn all that too. But please go to Tobosa.org. You can sit down and read all of the things we're talking about and probably some things I forgot to talk about too there. And then just make a plan to come on out this Saturday, 1 to 4 p.m., right here downtown at the Chaves County Courthouse lawn. It's completely free. All you gotta bring is yourselves and money to get a burger at the food truck or some cotton candy or whatever you're into, and just come out and could win some free stuff. It's gonna be entertainment. There's gonna be live drawings that you kind of just have to be in the right place at the right time for. So just kind of meander and linger around. You never know. You might be one of the ones that pops in and wins one of these great prizes or anything too. And then of course, if you have questions, if you're there to work and want information, that's also there too. If you're like, I don't want to eat games and stuff, I want to get my kids set up, we'll make sure that gets happened too. That's all. And then please, if you're is there room for more nonprofits if they just found out about it, or are we pretty full at the courthouse lawn?
No, absolutely.
Okay.
Take more.
So if any other nonprofit groups that are listening and are saying, you know what, we'd probably be pretty good to have a thing to talk about our organization out there, please reach out, especially if you work with youth. If you have an organization that works a lot with youth, I bet you're going to find a lot of people that can that probably into what you're into on that. So reach out, call this number and call the same number here, and of course Michelle will probably be the one.
Nicole would be the
go-to for that. You'll get Nicole on that one. Okay.
Yeah.
If you get Kurt, just say, "Excuse me, Mr. CEO, can I talk to Nicole?" But call 575-623-0849. And get, or go to Tobosa.org. You'll find that number there if you can't remember the name, that information too, or one of the Facebook pages. They'll shoot out there too. Good deal. Is there anything we wanted to share? Anything we wanted to cover that I spaced over, or just got to talking about nachos or something instead? Does happen from time to time. But
I think we're good, Mike.
good deal. Well, come on out if you have any questions about anything we talked about the event on Saturday, or just want to learn more about the services and opportunities through Tobosa Developmental Services or Los Pasitos or Little Steps or any of the umbrella that is Tobosa Developmental Services. 575-623-0849. Go to Tobosa.org or go look for Tobosa Developmental Services or Los Pasitos, Pasitos, LOS space, if you need to look that up too. So either way, good deal. Well, thank you guys.
Thank you.
We'll see y'all next time. And,
all right.
Okay.
Even if we don't have an event coming up, we just want to say, hey, this is what we do. Reach out to us, or maybe we've got some families that want to share their success. That would be I know we get to deal with privacy and all that, but if there's a family out there that want to sing the praises and say, look, my child had some issues, and now my child is not only above average, normal, but is above average and thriving in school, and this was why. That's we'd love to, because those are the best stories in the world when you see. And I imagine for you guys, this is why you do it every day. The days you're working long hours, you'll be sitting out here Saturday, 4 o'clock, sweating and hot, and you're like, oh, I'm tired. But the day that the light bulb moment happens, where that kid it just all makes sense all of a sudden. That's the win, and that's when you're sitting out here sweating, it's worth it when that happens.
Absolutely.
Be good. Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, it is 9:40. Let's pause for local news and weather and a quick break. Wall Street Business up there too. numbers today, so it could be good, could be bad, who knows. But we'll play them. Here we go. Don't go away.
and beautiful. When the frost has killed all the other flowers, pansies start blooming and they'll bloom all winter long, which is why you should come see us at Roswell Seed. We have a greenhouse full of colorful pansies ready to brighten up the coldest winter day. So come get your pansies, and remember, if someone calls you a pansy, take it as a compliment.
Let's face it, guys, we're living in times where the truth is becoming more suppressed and censorship is increasing at an alarming rate, especially on social media platforms. It's Clyde, and I want to tell you about a safe and secure digital playground we put together just for you. It's aftermath.media. You get access to thousands of Ground Zero archives and podcasts, along with our private social media groups with your basic membership starting at only $7 a month. Each subscription includes tech support, access to the RSS feeds, along with our own chat room and Telegram channel. In addition, the premium membership includes research study groups, webinars, a document and movie library, a live video stream of Ground Zero, a monthly Zoom chat with me, and other bonus content. Be sure to check out our yearly specials as well. Sign up today while you're thinking about it. Sign up at aftermath.media. Again, that's aftermath.media.
After a week off, it's back to business for your Goddard Rockets, and coming up this Thursday, your Rockets are back on the road, headed to Mayfield to take on the Trojans. Here, 106.1 FM and KSVPTV.com have got you covered. Join Chris Deck and Chris Roybal for the pregame show at 6:45 and kickoff at 7. Rockets versus the Trojans of Mayfield High, Thursday beginning at 6:45 on Gear 106.1 FM and at KSVPTV.com. Southeastern New Mexico's sports authority, then, now, and always.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Turtles can breathe through their butts. We imagine you know some people who do that too, because that's where their heads reside. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 7:52. Got a few minutes here before the top of the hour. So yesterday, I officially tried for the first time the Mambo sauce at McDonald's.
Mm-hmm.
I had it. I had the sweet and spicy jam last week,
right?
And it is delicious.
And I was sitting on a packet of it for Friday.
Yeah,
for McDonald's Friday.
Well, and I had a hankering and I wanted it, and then I was like,
yesterday was a real nugget day because I had nuggets. My friend at lunch, she's like, hey, grab me some too. So yeah, it was a real nugget Wednesday.
Yeah. So and then they had a deal that just satisfied my nugget craving at that time.
You hit one. I did another one.
Yeah.
So they had a $3 10-piece.
Ah. And
So
see, I did the one where, because I'm a fat guy, I did the
By
one.
the way, not a sponsor today.
So they had a deal where you could buy either a Big Mac, a quarter pounder, or a 10-piece at regular price and get another one for 29 cents.
Yep.
So I said, 20-piece chicken nugget, please, for the price of a 10 and 29 cents. So I got that, and then I went, and you get 4 sauces with 2 10-pieces. So I got 2 sweet and spicy jams, which I have one left.
Oh, do you?
I do.
Camping on it.
I saved
Oh,
it.
look at
I
you
saved it
camping
here.
on it.
I got a Mambo sauce, and then I got a sweet spicy just in case all else failed.
You know what I want to do?
I didn't open it. If you
Hold
notice,
on to that. Save that for tomorrow because I'm going to get a hold of a Mambo sauce today, and I want to do a side-by-side because I feel like they're both very similar in their makeup.
They are. They're not, because I actually was dipping, and sometimes it kind of bleed. The big difference is the jam is a jam, and the sauce is a sauce.
Well,
and it's like a jelly. And
the sauce, but also has not jam-like consistency, but but has that sweetness to it.
Well, and here's the thing, and this is where I picked up on it is the Mambo sauce, and Sean had kind of enlightened me. The Mambo sauce is inspired by a DC-based restaurant that serves this Carolina-style barbecue.
It's actually the official sauce of Washington D.C.
I don't know who had a meaning about that one.
It's Mambo's. Yeah, it's Mambo's sweet and spicy sauce.
Yeah,
is what it's called.
And so, if you are a fan of Carolina-style barbecue, you're probably going to like the Mambo sauce. When I had it yesterday, I liked it. It's excellent on the chicken nuggets. That's the only thing I had it on was the chicken nuggets. For me, this is how I enjoyed it, but this is how I experienced it after eating. Because I was studying, trying to dip the nuggets. I'm like, oh, what is going on here? What's this? So This is what I concluded.
Mike was doing real R&D.
Yeah, this is what I concluded.
And it was funny, too, because we have, like, adjoining offices, and we were just, like, shouting opinions back and forth into the void.
And so the Mambo sauce hits you first with, like, a Tabasco, like, flavor.
I didn't pick up. You said you threw out a couple of notes yesterday that I was like, I didn't pick up on that.
Yeah.
The Tabasco, because if you read the ingredients, it's basically it's a tomato based, like a ketchup sauce.
Yeah.
With cayenne peppers and then the vinegar and some other stuff.
So there's a lot of similar ingredients there. So first the initial note is Tabasco right off the bat, but then you get honey.
See, and I did not pick up on the honey.
Yeah.
I picked up on sweet, but I couldn't.
Well, there's a
peg
sweet,
what
but
sweet what
but
the sweet was.
The velvetyness of the sweet, if that makes sense.
It does.
That's the honey.
But I wonder if that's not just high fructose corn syrup because
I think it's honey because it's got a honey vibe to me.
Maybe.
And then there's some fruit. Now I'm not sure what the fruit, if it's a berry or like an apricot.
That's what's throwing me. I was getting raspberry.
Yeah, and I'm not sure there because the honey and the Tabasco blended in there. So that one actually starts hot and finishes sweet to me.
No, see, it was different
to
for
me. It's the opposite.
It starts sweet, and my lips are like tingling. by the time I've had like two or three.
To me,
notes.
I get the vinegar, the hot, the tart tangy of it at the start, and then the sweet rolls in. That for me, that's how it was. Now for the sweet and spicy jam, it's the opposite. I get the sweet right out the gate. It's got that jelly vibe. It's very much like a grape jelly, but it's not grape. It's a different fruit.
It's like a
it's a dark berry. I don't know which one, but I don't know if it's a blueberry or.
Well, they say the darker the berry, the sweeter the juice.
Well, it's sweet, and this one, and so it's got a great. So if you love jelly, like my whole thing about putting grape jelly on a Egg McMuffin, this is next level of that. It would be a 10
and
on
I would agree with you. I giggled because when you said jelly, I had flashbacks to Smith's All Fruit.
Yeah,
the commercial from the 80s and 80s and early 90s. It was like, could you pass the Smith's Old Fruit? Oh, I'll have some of that Smith's Old Fruit. Hey, can you pass me the jelly?
Pass me the jelly. I'm that guy.
Yeah.
But and by the way, it's great on chicken too. Like I had the sweet and sour jam on breakfast.
See, and I did it on breakfast stuff and also on fries. And I was like, okay, this is good. But that chicken, it just knocks it up a notch.
It's great on the chicken. So.
You know what I want to do? And this is my next move. I'm going to get a McChicken today, sans sauce,
and sauce it yourself?
Sauce it myself.
I will sauce myself.
That's right. Oh, you know what I'll do? I'll do a down the center comparison. I'll do the jelly on, the jam on one side.
Okay.
And the Smith's Soul Fruit on one side, and I'll do the Mambo sauce on the other.
You might have to cut the sandwich to do that because I don't think you want them intermingling because they might blend. Because I think they blend together well. Like if you mix them together, it probably work is something.
See, now I'm starting to get like ideas for this is my next TikTok. Cool, got that done.
All right. I'm glad we could.
This was mostly a production meeting.
We vet this out for everybody here,
yeah.
but if you're a Nugget fan, and who isn't? Come on, we all love chicken.
Okay, so
chicken nuggets bring happiness.
Yeah, never mind. There are just look. I love McDonald's nuggets, but there are some nuggets out there that just do it better. Wendy's has a really good nug, and it's just not talked about enough.
I look at nuggets like pizza. Even bad pizzas.
But they're not bad. They're not bad at all.
But that's what I mean about nuggets. Like, even when you buy them garbagey ones at the store that you heat up and there's like maybe more breading than chicken. I'll even on a bad day, I eat those. It's like I'm still eating chicken nuggets.
The only reason my daughter knows the name John Souls is because of she's a brand snob. She's picked her favorites.
Are they shaped like dinosaurs?
They're not. No, these ones are Minions.
You know the only people that like dino nuggets?
The sales managers?
Grown men. I've never seen any children eat them. It's always grown men. All right, it's 8 o'clock. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. KEND, Roswell, New Mexico. Dino Nugget Thursday.
Heard that too.
We'll be back.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. Israel remains on the brink of launching a ground offensive into Gaza. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu vows to crush and destroy Hamas following last weekend's deadly attack on Israeli civilians. Israel has laid siege to Gaza with no aid of any kind being allowed in. The United States has been moving quickly to bolster Israel's military.
Within hours of the attack, the U.S. began sending aircraft and warships to the area. The U.S. is also expediting the shipment of munitions and interceptors for Israel's fight against Hamas. The move reflects U.S. concerns that the deadly fighting between Hamas and Israel could escalate into a more dangerous regional conflict. The weapons and munition will serve as a deterrent for Hezbollah, Iran or others from taking advantage of the situation. I'm Karen Chamas.
Saying the U.S. stands with the Jewish state, Secretary of State Blinken is in Israel for talks with Prime Minister Netanyahu. Blinken is also to meet with Palestinian President Abbas. A couple of GOP senators want to put $6 billion in unfrozen Iranian assets back in the deep freeze.
Minority Leader Mitch McConnell and Senator Tom Cotton of Arkansas have unveiled legislation to immediately freeze the funds which had been set for return to Iran as part of a prisoner exchange deal last month. In a statement, McConnell writes that the civilized world must reimpose serious consequences on what he calls the regime that aids and abets murderous evil against innocent Israelis. He says the U.S. must lead by example and calls freezing Iranian assets an important first step. Bob Agnew reporting.
Millions of Social Security recipients will get a 3.2% increase in benefits in 2024, far less than this year's historic boost. It reflects moderating consumer prices. On Wall Street, the Dow down 129 points, and NASDAQ is off 7 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
El Salvador launching a crackdown on violent criminal gangs. It's a growing problem in the Central American country.
Around 3,500 soldiers and 500 police were sent to two small cities close to the capital, San Salvador, and essentially they blocked locals in these areas leaving, and they went round house to house asking for identity documents and rental contracts, trying to find suspected gang members. Both the small city Apopa and Soyapango previously were sort of strongholds for the various gangs that operate in El Salvador. President Nayib Bukele never really turns down a PR opportunity. He's very keen to show that he has a strong hold over the issue of gangs in El Salvador.
The BBC's Phoebe Hobson. A U.S. nuclear-powered aircraft carrier has arrived in South Korea in a show of strength against North Korea. South Korea's defense ministry says the USS Ronald Reagan and its battle group arrived earlier today. News and analysis, townhall.com. New York is dramatically expanding a legal marijuana market plagued by a sluggish rollout of retail stores.
State regulators last week opened a 60-day window to accept general applications to grow, process, distribute, and sell pot. They expect to issue more than 1,000 new licenses starting early next year with a priority on retail. Newly adopted regulations will allow companies licensed to sell medical marijuana to expand into the adult retail market by the end of the year. That move worries farmers and retailers who fear being squeezed out by deeper-pocketed companies who will be able to both grow and sell. Ron DeRockstra reporting.
Strike talks have broken off between Hollywood actors and studios. The Alliance of Studios and Streaming Services that negotiates with the actors says the two sides are so far apart in their contract talks, there's no point in continuing. Talks resumed last week for the first time since the actors went on strike in July. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The devil said, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2.
Ooh, with a deuce. Yeah.
Mornings with Mike Winters right here on 106.5 Roswell Talk FM. You know, that's something I can almost guarantee every American has in their back pocket.
A Macho
Man macho
impression. Although there's a spectrum. There's some real good ones and there's some real
I'm not saying
bad
they're good ones. I'm just saying everyone has one. You know what I mean?
And what's funny is every time you do it, you got to get that this
get the veins popping. Yeah, you got to the veins in the neck of the forehead.
Rises to the top. Yeah.
Yep.
Dan Soder, the comic Dan Soder, he does a spot on Randy Savage impression.
Does he?
Like one of the best I've ever heard.
That's it. Well, and that's just it. I've heard, and there's some good ones out there, but you're right. There's some bad ones. But I would argue Macho Man and Arnold Schwarzenegger. Everyone has.
And again, there's a spectrum. And I know that because mine is real bad. I can do get through the chop up, but that's like all I got.
Yeah.
Other than that, I can't do an Arnold. I've tried to hold one. Can't do it.
Yeah, it starts morphing into other things. I know. Exactly.
We call that a pocket Arnold. and a pocket Macho.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of like John Madden impressions.
Mm-hmm.
And
honestly, all we're doing is Frank Caliendo doing John Madden.
But most people, if you do it, it's just a phrase or a word, and
here's
that's all you got. Yeah, here's a guy, or boom. You can't do a whole dialogue as John Madden. I mean, unless you're Frank Caliendo, but you know what I mean. He's just that. There's certain things that you just and
yeah, it's there.
And a lot of it's visual, because anytime you stop a picture and start circling things in the picture, that's John Madden.
Yeah, the Fox Skadoodle.
He was the OG of that.
Yep.
And he was the guy, and it started with a tool for football so they could stop the play and show everything. But John went next level. He was like, let's go out to the tailgate. Look at the brats on this. And he stops the thing with the grill. Now, these are good-looking brats right here. And he circles them. These need some help. And he does all that. And that was John Madden back in the day. And that's why everyone loved him as a football guy.
Right.
But that's, most people, they think of the circling, and then it boom.
Madden and Al Michaels together just were a phenomenal team.
Well, yeah, that was arguably, my opinion, the top two tandem of football commentators of all time.
You can put any retired footballer in the booth, but it's just there are certain duos that have that chemistry.
And I grew up hearing the later years of Cosell and some of that. So obviously in the early 70s and things, I was a bit young to remember some of that. But the later years, and Cosell's great. Don't get me wrong, but to me, when Madden and Al Michaels were doing a football game, I was like, it's big time. It was the game. It was they were the creators of that. Like Aikman and Buck and all these other iterations of it. To me, the one seed, Madden Michaels.
I know that you have your HD now, and you have your 4K and your crisp, clear vision image. There's a certain warmth that is just gone from everybody in the living room gathering around a 27-inch screen. that's just like emitting radiation into your living room and watching one of those football games.
Oh, yeah.
Is it snowing? No, the signal's just bad. Damn it. Somebody go flush the toilet.
I remember the Heidi game. If you remember this one. This was, I can't remember the year. It was a while ago.
Mm-hmm.
But it was when, I think it was CBS. Don't quote me on that. They were showing a big game, and it was the Raiders, and I don't remember who it was. It was the Raiders and somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And it was an exciting moment, and then the game went into overtime and all that. But because of contractual obligations, they had to show The Wonderful World of Disney at like 7 o'clock or whatever it was on the East Coast or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And so the game went long, and they literally, at the most important moment of the game, it's now time for The Wonderful World of Disney or whatever. So it's probably ABC, not CBS. But I remember that when people lost their ever-loving mind.
That's awesome.
To show you Heidi. On The Wonderful World of Disney.
That's another one of those. See, like Heidi and even like, and I don't know why this triggered this one, but Pippi Longstockings.
Yeah.
That was like a staple viewing in my house because my sister loved the Pippi Longstocking movies.
Like, not my thing.
Not mine either.
No.
Turns out.
No, you barely get me to sit through like Apple Dumpling Gang or something like that. You know, I was not into live action then. If it was animated, I'm in.
Right.
But even if it was for kids and not, you know, unless you're Captain 20 or Romper Room, I wasn't in it.
I figured out at an early age though with animated, I don't like serious animation. I have a hard time watching animation that leans serious. I'll give you an example.
Mm-hmm.
When I was growing up, if you had access to HBO, which I on occasion did when we had free preview weekends, you got to enjoy the adventures of Tintin and Snowy. Those cartoons bored the bejeepers out of me. I couldn't.
See, but back then I was more into the because I would factor in like rock and roll, the whole rock and roll movie and all that stuff that came out in the 80s.
Heavy metal.
Heavy metal, thank you. I can't remember the name of the movie.
Same thing with Scooby-Doo was a problem for me.
I love Scooby.
Johnny Quest. Johnny Quest was one of those that there was nothing funny about Johnny Quest.
Johnny Quest was on every morning at Saturday at 10, and just because it was either that or like regular programming at that point. But to this day, that music, it's just, Johnny Quest is on. I mean, it's just,
right.
I wasn't as fan as Johnny Quest. I was more into some of the other Hanna-Barbera cartoons that were of the same ilk. Your Space Ghost, your, their knockoff of the Avengers. What did they have? The Herculoids or whatever they were called. Yeah.
He-Man and the Barbarians.
Yeah. I liked some of those. I wasn't into Johnny Quest.
When I was a young kid, I loved Thundercats.
I did like Thundercats.
Like when
that was later though.
When I was like a baby, like 4 or 5.
See, by the time Thundercats were getting big, that's when I was starting to transition into teenage thing. So I was little less into that.
Which actually tracks because I was like, 5, 6 when that was a thing.
Like that was on the back end of my cartoon years. I'm starting to not watch Saturday cartoons anymore. I'm starting to think about, adult things in life at that point. Things you're into, stuff like that. But Johnny Quest, but some of those, see, I loved all because I didn't think of them as comedies. I was that guy to get home from school every day and watch the Transformers and Mask. That was, if y'all remember Mask.
Period A.
Yeah, that was kind of a Transformers
like
knockoff.
Multi-Arsenal.
Yeah, G.I. Joe. Even like Gem and those they'd sprinkle those in there, and you'd be like, all right, we'll watch Gem because it's what's on for 30 minutes.
Hey, she was truly outrageous. truly outrageous.
Yeah.
Thank you to my big sister for the only reason I know that reference.
Well, Gem I would stay for. Like when it got to My Little Pony time, I'm like, all right, I'm out. But Gem, because she was, kind of adulty, teeny, you're like, well, she's kind of cute, for my age. I'm going to watch this.
It is kind of funny, like being able to. Did you have a guest this hour?
Yes, Amy McVeigh will join us here in just a bit.
Ooh, I like your little mini rundown. one of the things having witnessed 2 generations of My Little Pony, it's very odd what they've done to them.
I have no idea.
Your generation of My Little Pony, they look like ponies.
They did. Yes.
My children's generation of My Little Pony, they've done that weird thing they do to all cartoons where they make their eyes this big.
The anime thing going on?
It's hard to you'd have to see them, but their eyes are huge. They like point the face. They're very asymmetrical, and it's like, why did you make them like attractive, or what are you doing? Why? What is this?
They're trying to make them more human looking.
I don't even know. But if you watch like Pixar movies, you'll see the exact same thing.
Okay.
If you look at like the Snow Whites or the Cinderellas of yesteryear, they look like, normal-eyed people. Versus Anna and Elsa from Frozen or Rapunzel from Tangled, their eyes are like 3/4 of their face.
I think it's because they can do emotion with them better. Like, because all these people need a crying scene.
Yeah.
And I think that makes the crying scene look more emotional.
Maybe it's very odd to see how face animation has evolved over a generation.
Like watching Snow White cry doesn't look as emotional as watching, say, Frozen.
Matter of fact,
because I'm serious. I think that there's something there to that.
One of my favorite actual jokes, and again, I've watched a lot of My Little Pony, thanks kids. One of my favorite jokes that they did was Pinkie Pie was like, can you make this face? And she went like this, and it was the old school My Little Pony face. And I was like, oh, okay. They made reference to the fact that those look like ponies. These look like alien ponies. It's odd.
And I grew up in a generation where anytime they tried to humanize animal things, it comes off so creepy. Case in point, Cat in the Hat movie. That is, if there ain't kids that are traumatized by that movie, I'm guaranteed, because I was older and I still watched it, and it traumatized me. That Cat in the Hat was nightmare fuel.
Cat in the Hat and Love Guru were the turning point for Mike Myers' career.
But that should never been made. I don't know who thought that was a good idea, but that movie.
That and The Grinch.
Yeah, but even The Grinch.
No, don't you dare. Don't you defend that movie.
I'm not, but The Grinch at least had a couple funny lines.
Jim Carrey has, I will give you, a more rubber face that lends itself to the costume. But it's so bad.
Well, it's hard to make Dr. Seuss cartoony people in real world without it looking like nightmare fuel.
Right.
And but Cat in the Hat was the worst, because I don't care what anybody says. When I was a teen, when I like back when I was a kid and I watched like the Friday 13th for the first time, and you get all, and that night you're like thinking Jason's under your bed and all that kind of stuff. I feel like Cat in the Hat's the same thing. Like you're like kids are sleeping and then that thing shows up in your bedroom. I mean, it's not.
It is a hard sell.
It is not.
Hey kids! Oh my god!
It looks like it's a Chucky movie.
Right.
Like, I feel like if you want to make a Chucky slasher movie, then that costume would have been right perfect for that. I mean, it is right there.
Hey kids, I'm here to ransack your house.
Like, to me, Cat in the Hat and that insanely bad B-movie Killer Clowns from Outer Space have the same vibe to me.
That literally popped up as my recommended the other day.
To me, they have the exact same vibe. That, because they're over the top clowns, and so it looks like a cross between a more modern, like, Purge movie meeting with a dark comedy. It's very weird.
I only ever watched Killer Clowns from Outer Space one time.
Yeah.
That movie that was traumatizing.
It is. But to me, Cat in the Hat's the same thing.
Yeah. Same. I'll lend it to you. Yeah, I'll go give you that one.
Oh,
that whole genre of movies, just in general. I mean, yes, I understand that there's one is worse, but just why was that a thing? I feel like in a generation they're gonna look back on the Disney remakes and say, why did we do that? Like, that's gonna be the thing that we look back, like we're looking back on Cat in the Hat. Like, why did they do that?
Yeah.
Cash grab, kids. Cash grab.
But that one was a monumental failure. That was a cash grab that they should have put back in the bag. They should have just left that one alone. You know, if they would have done a Cat in the Hat, they should have just made it animated. That would have been way better.
Well,
it would have made way more money. It would have just been a better thing.
Look at the redone Grinch movie from just a few years ago. That was great.
Yeah,
you know, it was just CG animated. It was awesome.
That's where you need to stick with it. You know, and because even after that Grinch movie came out, we all still liked the 30-minute cartoon we saw every holiday. You know, I was like, no, that's still the Grinch.
Yep.
Anyway.
He's #not my Grinch.
But I did like some of the lines Jim Carrey had in the Grinch movie. Those made me laugh, where at least I had that.
Right.
The Cat in the Hat movie didn't even give me that. It just gave me creepy cat that I'm like, ooh, kick it out.
No! Get bruised. No!
It's like the spider in the corner of your house, like, ooh, get rid of it! That's that Cat in the Hat. All right, Amy is here, so we should stop complaining about Cat in the Hat. It is 8:21.
Next hour, we're going to talk to Lorax.
That's right. Here's your weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We have cold front moving through the area. That'll bring us very gusty wind off and on today. Wind up to 25 or 30 miles an hour at times, and very warm. Our afternoon high in the upper 80s with sunshine. Overnight will be clear, low 50s, and then cooling off a little bit on Friday. Sunshine, not as windy, and about 75. Mid-70s and sunny on Saturday, and then upper 70s and sunny Sunday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 73 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 28%. Winds are out of the west at 15, and my weed tree's blowing around, so I think that might be accurate. Sunny today and 87, so another warm day for today. Winds will be out of the west, 10 to 20 miles per hour. Those winds will be bringing cooler temps for the next couple days, though. Tonight, skies will be clear, overnight low of 50, northwest winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. Friday, we're dropping down to the mid-70s, sunny 75 for a high tomorrow. Winds will be out of the northwest 5 to 15 miles per hour. Tomorrow night, mostly clear, overnight low 46. So if you're going out for arguably the biggest game of the year tomorrow night at the Wool Bowl, might want to bring a sweater. If you're coming to see world domination, bring a sweater. It's going to be chilly. And then Saturday, mostly sunny and a high of 75, northeast winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. And then Sunday, sunny and 76. So enjoy your 87 today, because we're going to be enjoying 70s for the next 3 days after. All right, it is 8:23. We're going to take a 3-minute break, and then Amy McVeigh-Tejas will join us talking about this Saturday, talking about Heritage Dinner. I know we got 8 million things on Saturday, but we're going to remind you, carve out a few minutes for one more event on Saturday here. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about Heritage Dinner, all that up next. Don't go away.
Hi, I'm Dr. Keon at Carabelli Dental. Same-day smiles are what we do. My passion is helping patients chew, talk, and live with confidence. That's why I'm one of the few doctors in the U.S. who can create beautiful same-day smiles with the latest digital implant technology. This procedure is life-changing. Just ask Sean.
Hi, I'm Sean. I've been that voice that you've heard on the radio for most of my life, but I'm also a dad to 2 amazing kids. I've had a million reasons to smile, but in all my old pictures, I was never smiling. Truth is that life of improper care and being dealt a bad hand genetically left me practically with no teeth. It affected everything from the way I ate, the way I talked, and of course how I interacted with people. And that's where Dr. Keon and Carabelli stepped in. They eased my fears. They explained every step of the process in a way that I could understand, and they made me feel almost like I was part of the team. And now, I can't stop smiling. I have so much more confidence, and I love looking in the mirror now. I can't explain how much of a difference Dr. Keon's dental implant process made for me.
Our team can help you find your smile too. Come see us at Carabelli Dental, 575-622-4455.
Christian author C.S. Lewis wrote this: "If we find ourselves with the desire that nothing in this world can satisfy, the most probable explanation is that we were made for another world. Frankly, this world's messed up. Every day on the news, there's another tragedy. What do we do with that? How do we handle the fallen world we live in? Well, I think we do like C.S. Lewis said, and we live for the next one. At Country Club Road, we're trying to live this kind of life together. That means we encourage each other. We share the message that no matter where you are or what state your life is in, Jesus is the answer. His saving grace is offered to all who come to him. And we try to serve this fallen world in the way Jesus did, loving those around us, being kind, giving back, meeting needs, loving, expecting nothing in return. We aren't perfect, far from it, but we're trying. We want to show His love by loving like He did. So we invite you to be part of our journey. Lewis again says, you can't go back and change the beginning, but you can start with where you are and change the ending.
Join us at the Country Club Road Church of Christ for worship at 10 a.m. on Sunday, located on the corner of Country Club and Washington in Roswell.
A dining set is the staple of family gatherings. It's where you spend holidays, where you help your kids with their homework. It's an entertainment setting for game nights or new recipes. Your dining room is a centerpiece of style and design. This is Melanie from Glenn's Furniture. Here at Glenn's, we bring quality to the modern dining room. Our selection is extensive with clean lines and subtle curves, from traditional to contemporary with wood or stone tops. Stylize your dining room at Glenn's on Union and Alameda, where delivery is free since 1953.
It's time to stock up on beef. Do it the most affordable way by buying a whole or half beef from Runyon Cattle. A whole beef feeds a family of 4 for nearly a year. Buy your meat in bulk for about $6 a pound. Skip the store and skip the wait lines. Beef isn't something that you should have to wait on. Stock up on New Mexico homegrown grass-fed and grass-finished beef today by calling Lisa with Runyon Cattle at 760-5655. That's 760-5655. Delivered to your home freezer.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Alaska is the only state name that can be typed on one row of keys. Go ahead and try typing the other 49 states. We'll wait. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 26 minutes after 8 o'clock, and joining us in the studio this morning, Executive Director for the Historical Society, Amy McVeigh is back with us. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you doing today?
Good.
Good. Excited for this Saturday?
I'm excited. Well,
Big
let's take it.
Saturday.
I'm really excited for tomorrow night. You know what?
Big game tomorrow. Well, big game tonight, too.
Big game tonight?
Goddard,
You're right. That is true.
106.1 FM,
tonight.
audio only on the video, but we'll have that game for you tonight.
Good.
So on our sister station and audio only KSVP-TV.com.
Cool. So we're going to start tonight. And by the way, we started last night. Shout out to those amazing New Mexico Military Institute volleyball players. Woo, they showed up.
Absolutely. I hope people went out and packed the armory last night.
Shout out to Rick and Mary Hale. They were right in front of us, hooping and hollering, and we were having a great time. We did show up.
Good deal.
And I want to remind people, we just have treasures. What Shelby and them are doing over there. Well, the Mexico Military Institute is amazing, but shout out, high five, God bless, and support those amazing women.
Matter of fact, we'll have Jeff going on tomorrow, kind of previewing some football and talking about some other athletics things
we love
going
sports.
on too in MMI.
It's that time of the year, Mike.
Yeah.
We love the weather. I heard you saying the temperature's going to drop, bring a jacket. That's football weather. Ralph and I are like, bring it on, let's go. We want the sweatshirt, we want a little blanket.
Well, I think
we're just going to sit back and enjoy it.
Friday night, and I tell people, and I've been saying it all morning, Artesia's going to fill that visitor side up with a sea of orange.
For sure.
Match it. Make sure there is not an inch of space on that home side, that every inch has a butt in it wearing red.
And come on, Mike, we have to represent, because I was on the radio yesterday with Gene and Artesia. We were talking it up, and then all of a sudden it occurred to him that I was Roswell. And he said, we're going to finish this conversation. And it's exactly what he said. I'll be talking to you next week. I want to hear from you. And so I'm like, oh, it's on now. We have to represent, and it's all good. But I tell you what.
It's all in good fun,
it is in good fun, because this part of New Mexico represents, and I'm so proud. I'm a proud Bulldog supporter. Of course, I'm a Coyote, but you know what? Shout out. I think the best football is 60 miles away from each other. That's amazing. I'm just proud for us representing the state of New Mexico.
It's the best two teams in the state are going to be in the Wool Bowl.
I'll be wearing red, but God bless the orange.
And to be honest, just we know the history of how they do South teams.
Right.
1 and 2 are Artesia Roswell.
Right.
And if they keep that 1-2, then they should see each other in the championship game, because when they always put 1 and 2 on the opposite side of the brackets. However, they don't like it when it's all South teams. So if there is a third team that they can make any kind of argument to move up to number 2 to drop one of these teams to 3, they're going to do that. So I'm just saying this may be your only chance to see them here. Obviously, they're going to square off in the playoffs at some point. We just hope it's a championship game. So
shout out for these kids. We're proud. We watched them both. We watched Artesia beat Cleveland down in Artesia. Shout out to these kids. We've got some amazing athleticism, great coaching. I just love it. But we do have to talk about business. But it's so much fun.
That's all the pre-weekend stuff here we're talking about. The big games tonight, tomorrow, and then of course then we get into the weekend here. Of course, the big thing on Saturday is the solar eclipse. And we are blessed to live in this part of the country where this Ring of Fire eclipse, one of the best areas to see it happens to be right here in this part of the world.
I heard we need to blast out that music like all morning.
Yeah, exactly. Just get some burning Ring of Fire. Everybody loves Johnny Cash, right? To a point.
But we do in this moment. It's a point. It's perfect.
That's right. But so that's going to be the event. And now for folks, I think it goes from like 9:30 to 11:30. Around 10:30 is the high water mark of the eclipse.
That's
where
right.
you're going to see the most blacked out portion of the sun.
10-minute time frame, isn't it? 6 to 10 minutes.
And then by about 11:30, it's all said and
That's
done.
right.
That being said, there's a lot of events going on around town. On Saturday, the Historical Society is having, and we've been talking about it for months, their Books and Blooms event, which is a twofold event. One is we celebrate the fine folks of Farmhouse Roots and their tulips and their flowers. They're going to be there with their flowers. They're going to be, like, if you want the cool tulips and everything like that they put out and all that, now's the time to start doing the plant and doing all that. Spring flowers you got to plant in the fall. But anyway, so if you want to get in all that,
that's right.
The Farmhouse Roots folks will be. But if you're not into flowers, you're more into books. Or so if you're into books, come on down. If you're into flowers, come on down. If you're into both, then you're going to have an awesome time.
That's right. That's right.
And then of course we're going to do, as we do once or twice a year here, our book fair. And we rely. People make generous donations to us, not only financially, but when they lose family members and things, they have keepsakes and treasures that they want to go to a place that will be preserved. And guess what? We're those people. And so from time to time we get many things, including books. And we get a lot of great out-of-print books that you can no longer pick up in a bookstore anywhere, that are very relevant to our neck of the woods or that kind of thing. And so we get those donations. But the thing about books is people sell more than one because they want to make money off. Authors got to eat too. So,
that's right.
So we get extras. Now, that being said, we keep the good ones. We don't give out our good stuff. We keep our light under a bushel, so to speak.
Backups.
And so we'll keep the best ones, and we'll keep a backup of all that. We'll cannibalize, like if we got a book, but this one's got a better book jacket, and this one's got a better spine. Well, we'll cannibalize it together to make the best one. Keep that for the archives. But if we have extras, we make it available to collectors and people that like to own pieces of history like this. So Saturday, beginning at 10 a.m., come on down. Now, if you're a book hunter, you want to be here at 10.
I would really recommend that. There's going to be those ones, those singles.
Yeah.
And John and the whole committee, there's only one of those golden, and that's the thing, because we're preserving the others.
Absolutely.
So I would.
But if you're there more for the flowers, then maybe you can kind of meander
finagle some things.
But you might want to pull this move too: is come back at 10 for the books, and then check again around.
I agree.
As we get towards 2:00 towards the end of this event, just to see what happens. Because sometimes people bring things, and you're just and you get to see things. And it's just great. But also, don't forget, we're going to have two of our wonderful local authors, Donna Blake Birchall, John LeMay. Between the two of them, they've got a whole library of books, and they're going to be there signing books and doing book discussions, talking about their latest books or really any book that you want to talk about.
We've sold a lot of John LeMay's books recently, and individuals didn't want to wait for that autograph. I want to remind people, if you've purchased that book from us, show up and get that autograph.
Yeah, if you got one that's not signed, bring it. They'll sign it.
That's right. I'm
Absolutely.
also going to highly recommend, if you say, I want to wait and purchase that on Amazon. We respect that. We respect that process. But the only way you can directly help us and support local authors. And it's not just about them. We've got a lot of local authors there.
And we're very thankful that both John and Donna allow the Historical Society to be a conduit for their books. Because you're right, they make more money by you buying it off Amazon.
Right.
But they're kind enough to say we want to share the love.
That's right.
So when you buy it from the Historical Society, we get a little piece. So
do your Christmas shopping list now. Donna Blake Birchall will not be back here, I believe, until the Holiday Magic, which has to be in the middle of November.
Okay.
So make your list. Get your books. Haunted Hotels and Ghosts. I was thinking about all these books.
Of course, you can always go to Carlsbad and visit her.
You 100%. She'd love that too. But I was thinking about I've done a lot of speaking at we have got a lot of book clubs around Roswell. I really want to challenge some of these book clubs in October and November. Man,
Maybe
that's
pick
a
up
great
some of our books and make it,
Haunted hotels and ghostly getaways. Do fun projects. Really encourage our kids to dig into that. I'd love to. Donna Blake Birchall will be here all day on Saturday. We're thrilled to have her along with John, and with a lot of promotions, first come, first serve. Some of our first visitors that make purchases will get blessings. You know me, I love blessings. There will be gifts with any purchase. Yeah. But that's going to be first come, first serve. When we run out of that, that's that. We'll have mystery bags, which you can't be picking. Mike, that's so funny. I've already thought, because John's like, Amy, I'll put the bags together and you put the tissue in and make them look pretty. I'm like, heck no, we're stapling those suckers. Nobody's going to be digging in there to see what's in there. And we will be putting some books here and there of value for some extra blessings. So we will have
Easter
those
egg
mystery
nuggets
bags.
that pop out here and there. Yeah, absolutely.
That's right. We will have herd print promotions if you need those little. I was just at a
They
home.
make great gifts.
I was just at a home yesterday. I'm going to do some Christmas decorating over there, and I was looking around thinking, we've got some amazingness of herds.
Ask who was the dignitary in Poland that we gave? Ask him about that. He was the most exciting thing. He got his gifts, and they got a bunch of stuff
from the Historical
with those
Society.
Peter Hurd prints. He was a huge fan of the Hurd family and
That's a big
that was
name.
the biggest deal out of that.
And then I want, on
and
behalf
he's
of
in
the-
Europe.
That's right. And on behalf of the Historical Society, if you say, yeah, Amy and Mike, we have all the Hurd prints. Remind yourself of all the amazing history of Wyeth and Hurd connection, even connecting New Mexico Military Institute.
Well,
Any way you can connect those dots, we love that.
These are the people that have given the world the image of what New Mexico is.
Yes, that's very true.
That when people think
When
of New
people
Mexico,
hear-
when think of what we do and what it's about,
You're right.
a lot of times they think of these paintings by
You
the
are right.
Hurd White
And
family.
I thank you for mentioning that, Mike,
Yeah.
because we continue on behalf of the Historical Society to want to expand the universe's perspective of us.
Yeah.
We've done a really good job of pulling in our UFO connection. We want to remind people of expanding the space connection, our air base, and Robert H. Goddard. But let's expand it more and get this art and culture in. We certainly we can bathe in it for years for all the art
that's
and
the
culture. You know what I mean?
beauty of what we have here,
Yes.
because we're in the fabric of the deepest, earliest man of history, from our native stuff to the Spanish and to all the colonization, everything that's going on. We're involved in that history all the way up to, like you said, putting men in space and
That's
putting
right.
us into planets and to do the things that are on the cutting edge of today. New Mexico's in the fabric of all that. And
We
that's,
do.
That's what's a kind of amazing thing, and it is. And this is the blessing that is, because we have all this rural, beautiful landscape, and so it provides nature and all the beauty of that. But at the same time, we get to do the things that we need to protect our nation and do that here too. And so we really have a foot in both worlds in this state. We really do.
I think so. And I think that one thing I learned from the museum day more than anything is, don't get me wrong, Mike, I want to encourage people to vote, do your early voting, support the process. But once we do that, if we get over ourselves and our differences, Museum Day proved to me we do have a greater respect for something so much greater than us. Don't get me wrong, there's a time and place for everything. My husband says that all the time. There's a time and place for everything. We need to support what we believe in and stay true to it. That's what our country's about. But at the end of the day, if we get over ourselves and celebrate our museums and our local treasures, there's that unification, goosebumpy moment, whether you're at the ball field and you're supporting the other team, or I don't care. We're right there. We're right
Well,
there.
and this is again why I remind people this importance of history and why we need to preserve it, study it, and understand it. It is the guidebook for the future. I don't care what anybody says. You want to study, you want to know how humans are going to react and how they're going to go, study what they've been doing through the history of time, and you're going to understand it. And people, we talk about history and people proud of their history or ashamed of history and all that. Here's the thing. History is history. It happens how it happens. We get put on this earth at whatever time we get put on this earth.
Yes.
Yes, we want to study and understand history so we can avoid its mistakes and provide growth and prosperity and the pushing of humankind forward. But to understand that, we got to learn and know the mistakes. And just because you grew up in a place doesn't define you necessarily.
That's right.
Just because you came from a certain culture doesn't define you.
Absolutely
You take
not.
whatever that is and go forward with it.
Yes.
But that's where we need to come and, like you say, get over ourselves a little bit. It's like, look, be proud of your heritage and your history and everything, because we all are. But at the same time, don't let it define who you are or what you do.
What if we just interlock our arms and walk together?
Yeah, that's up to you.
Yes.
That is up to you on what to do with that.
It is.
So that's why history's so important.
It is. It is. So show up 10 to 2 on Saturday, Books in Bloom event. If you need more information, 622-8333.
Yeah.
Log on to RoswellMHistory.org or email historydirector@outlook.com. And a lot of people, just recently, we had a woman that her husband passed, and he had bought, I'm telling you, I think he had purchased every John and every Donna book. Well, she donated it back to us. They looked like new. That's a perfect example. And I'm like, oh, that's so cool. She said, I wanted you to have it. You can use it. And I'm thinking, that's worth a couple $100.
Absolutely.
To us, it's amazing. They were brand new. We went through, checked them page by. It was like a perfection. It was like brand new. So if you can't attend for whatever reason, we do accept and receive donations. That does help keep the next book. See, we're working on a book fair right now, but you know us, we're working on the next one.
We're plotting planning for the next
one. I know
one.
quite a few people might be out of town this weekend. You're going to miss a lot, but collect those valuable history books, preferably local to this area. There are exceptions, and make a donation later for that. We'd love that.
Absolutely.
And collect that change while
We're
I'm
always
thinking
connecting.
about
See
it.
our loose change bottles around town.
Miss Jane just brought, I think, $50 the other day. They've been cleaning stuff
And
out.
we love
Miss Jane
that.
filled out.
That's why this is such a success. We have families that literally are at home just filling jars, as they get home every day, and they put their loose change in the jar.
That's
And then when it gets to a
process.
certain point, they bring it on down
or
to
if
us every time.
we had a little family that they were doing their Saturday cleaning, and they put that container out and challenged everybody to put in, and then they go, okay,
love
that's
that.
perfect. So anyway, we'll keep doing that. And somebody said, when are you going to stop it?
Never.
Well, I mean, I don't think so.
Why not?
would we? I mean,
If people are willing to do it,
if I've got this can and I'm still collecting it, and men really resonate with this, Mike. They collect that
we're pack
change.
rats. Men are pack. I don't care what anybody says. We all have a bit of a pack rat.
And
Yes.
y'all have those Folgers cans or that container.
We
with
love
Daddy called
putting
a
things
ditty
in
bag.
cans, whether it's screws or bolts or nuts or pennies and coins.
Now, I really like one of our buddies, Joe, if you're listening. Mike, he stepped it up. He's filling up. Now, he's serious. The Sam's Folgers, the big one. And I'm like, you
the
go,
big 100-ounce jobber,
He's stepping it up. I'm
enough
like, you go.
enough to supply an army of coffee.
Right,
yeah.
right.
Good. But those are the folks
having fun.
Yeah, and they get into it, and it helps because every little bit and this is something that I think the board takes a pride in. Certainly you do. Is stewards of this money. It's one of these things. It's like we fundraise. The people be like, man, you guys are always fundraising. Yes, you ain't wrong.
Well, at some point we are going to give y'all a break. Somebody told me that the other day, Mike, and I'm like, and he's like, don't be offended. I'm like, don't be offended.
Yeah.
We have fundraised ourselves to where we deserve a bit of a break. We're going to give
You're right.
we keep going, but in different manners. If you get what I mean.
But here's the deal: is we're always in a situation where a crazy expense happens.
That's right.
And it's just the nature of the work we do.
We don't have that luxury to sit around. We don't.
We do not.
There's not.
If we are charged with the task of preserving that house and preserving that archives and making sure the next generations of people that call this place home have access to that, guess what? When you have a home that was built 100 plus years ago, it's going to require maintenance.
It is.
It's going to require
and
work.
we're not going to sit around and gripe about it.
Yeah.
It's an honor to preserve. That is.
Same thing with that
That's
archives
part of our
facility.
mission.
When we have to add and expand or do work to preserve the artifacts within, It
As a matter
takes
of fact,
a lot of money
Fred's
to do that
been
kind of
doing
stuff.
that this week. He keeps
Yeah.
saying we're really digging in. I know we're running out of time. I want to remind people it is not too late for Heritage Dinner.
Please get your tickets.
And we shout out an amazing group, Paid It Forward. I don't mind saying this, and I hope they Bank of the Southwest. I don't know since I've been involved if Bank of the Southwest has ever eaten one of our Heritage Dinner meals since I've been a part of this organization. They are the stewards of giving. Since the first year, I've been at the Historical Society 10 years ago.
They make
When the
sure everyone
first
else eats except them.
Mike,
huh?
one of the first checks I ever gotten opened, and it was a check from Bank of the Southwest, and it was like in bold letters, and I think it was one of the presidents says, "We want your volunteers to eat," and I thought that is so cool.
Yeah.
So shout out to them, and it's not just about one entity, and it's not about them. It's about paying it forward. I want to challenge people if you don't care about partaking in this, but you can honor the legacy of Mary Lou Glass. That's purchase kids' books and get them to us. We've kind of hit a low. I haven't been getting books. Shout out if you're book clubs and you don't want to buy our books. What about collecting children's books to pay it forward in honor of Mary Lou Glass? Haven't gotten a lot of books. That challenge is out there. We'll do that through Christmas. It is not too late for $100 or a $500 bundle to pay it forward. We've got some treasures that I would love to pay it forward to.
Absolutely.
We've got some ill volunteers that I think probably are finished volunteering. They're kind of at the end of their lives and nursing homes and stuff. What greater way to show appreciation for their dedication is giving them a $100 bundle and like sharing it with a little other person.
Absolutely. Well, and especially
a neighbor, whatever.
Well, and especially too, like you said, these are volunteers, but like you said, these are some folks that, like you said, their health's declining.
We
They don't get to get out. They don't get to the social circles. All of the things that they love and enjoy, they're really less of now. So when someone shows up at their house with a meal for two,
for sure,
and come visit, because that's the other thing, our volunteers, I've delivered a few times. It's kind of hard to just walk in and say, here you go, see you later. You walk in and how you doing? Come on in.
Oh, we were here. And ladies and gentlemen, that's why Mike Winters and people like that. Because, and you know what? That's your fun moment to see our volunteers.
Yeah.
I'm the one seeing them.
Mm-hmm.
And there is a challenge on the table, and somebody hasn't bid on this, or I was talking to Gene Dow about it. Ladies and gentlemen, Mike Winters is a champion of challenges. That's a good way to say that. You're a champion of challenges.
Around. I do.
You do. I don't have a challenge. I want a challenge. Mike, and I said this in Artesia, is willing to do almost anything.
Almost. I've worn stockings. I've showed more of me than people wanted to see.
I'm a creative soul, but I don't have time to sit around and think about these weird and wonky ideas. But the challenge is on the table. Mike Winters will be part of this event.
Absolutely.
Whether it means you staying there and doing something crazy on our property.
Visiting people's houses. Either way, I've done both.
And by the way, something that I have not mentioned, I want to mention on the radio, Tina Williams and Ken will be there singing music.
Oh, good. See, there's the reason to come.
Come on.
Not for me. Come see them. They're way better.
So there's a way to do both. If you want to drive through and enjoy the classic music of Tina and Ken, come on. That's amazing. And her heart is there. She worked many years at the Society.
Yeah.
That's her part of honoring Mary Lou through music, which I love that.
Absolutely.
If you come inside the museum, we've got pianos and stuff. There's a legendary legacy of music. Tina and Ken will be there honoring that. But challenge. Come on, guys. I want a Mike Winters challenge, and I'll do almost anything to fulfill it. It'll be fun.
Yeah, I'll do something.
And then his wife will just hang around and have her sweet little smile and enjoy every bit of it.
There you go. Absolutely. But
make your reservations today, 622-8333. Make a challenge.
We're running out of time where we have to get the final numbers to the Pepper
Monday,
staff.
we need to have full totals. We've got totals. We could have bigger numbers. I'm so thankful for every number we have.
So at least
but
call
as usual,
or RSVP. We'll get the money when we get the money.
I know in my
We're not worried
heart
about
everybody
that.
could afford to do something,
Absolutely.
whether it's a book, whether it's a $100 meal, whether it's pay it forward, or whether you're just bringing change. We appreciate everything, and we just appreciate the support.
Absolutely, and of course too, if you know some people that need some special blessings, please put them on our radar too.
For sure.
We love to do that kind of stuff.
Or if just straight up you cannot afford a box and you said, I'd really like to be a part of it, maybe we could just straight up have that challenge
Absolutely.
to fulfill that. So any way possible, become members. It is that time. Memberships as low as $30. You can become a member. That's how you get our newsletters. A lot of fun things going on, and just having a lot of fun with a lot of different things.
But don't forget, this Saturday, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.,
Call
is
today
the
for more
blooms, blooms and books and blooms. Like,
Well, no, going to be doing balloons.
blooms
and
and, well, I tried to say blooms.
Go to see the balloons on Sunday to hear on Saturday. I don't know.
I tried to say blooms before books, and it came out balloons.
And then support, shout out to all the events, whether it's Pioneer, whether it's RMAC. We have our intentions to support those things.
Absolutely, but it's going to be fun.
We can support everything.
Trust me, if y'all were like all about those farmhouse, which a lot of people are, those tulips and everything, you wanted the inside skinny.
And come meet them.
Saturday.
And
Come on
they're
out.
great.
10
Great.
a.m. By the way, are we going to have some goggles laying around if people happen to
first
be...
come, first come.
All right,
First come, first serve.
on our...
There's limited amounts.
Our goggles for
we
the
do.
Eclipse.
Yes, we do. So if you say, I just want to step out y'all's door, I want to be there at 10 to see it, yes, first come, first serve. We will just be asking for any donation for them.
Absolutely, yeah. Whatever you can help, whether it's a penny or $100,000.
Amen to that. That's what I'm talking about. A penny to $100,000. That might be a slogan.
If you want to pay $100,000 for a pair of glasses, we might throw in a few other
we've
things.
got a board member. Him and I's agreement is we can do anything with $1 and a stick.
There you go. There you go. We made that guy in charge of our grounds committee, didn't we?
That's right. That's what I'm talking about. Thank you for everything. We
Absolutely.
appreciate it.
Again, RoswellNMHistory.org is our website. You can find everything we're talking about here. If you want to get a copy of John or Donna's or any of our other local authors' books.
Let me say something else real fast. Text me 575-915-4471. If you can't be here on Saturday, but you wanted the newest John LeMay book and the newest Donna Birchall book, and you want them autographed, and you said, put my name on them, it's Mike, I could take your credit card, get them autographed, and have them for you next week. I am doing that, and would be happy to do that again.
They're ready
because
and waiting.
John's around, Donna's not. And if you're wanting Donna's newest books, call us if you can't be there. We'll take your credit card, and she can autograph them, and we can give them to you next week, or even deliver them.
Yeah, John's
That's what
just
I'm
a phone
talking
call
about.
away. Donna has to make special trips.
Well,
to
and
come
like
up,
the Hidden History book, I'd love to have them together because you can get both her autographs on that.
Absolutely. Yeah. And now, technically, John and I are neighbors, and if I need to, I'll just walk over and knock on his door.
Hey, you have a good point. You can make my life easy. That's what I'm talking about. So much for me driving out where I used to live behind the mall.
Yeah.
I'm saying send it home with Mike.
That's right.
I'll just put it in the elevator. Mike, I'll just put it in the elevator.
There
It'll
you
pop
go.
up for you. Oh,
I'll
yeah.
put it in his mailbox.
See, my life's getting easier already. I need to come on here more often.
I'm
Let's see,
officially
how
now
else
the
can-
John LeMay delivery system. So,
knocking on
very
his
good.
door.
And vice versa. If John, she'll be getting stuff to give me. She'll just give it to John.
There
and
you
he'll get it on the way
go.
home.
See?
So, Works perfect.
It's called networking.
There
ladies
you go.
and gentlemen.
Perfect.
Super
Works out
connecting.
perfect. But we'd love to see you. Come on out Saturday, even if it's just for a few minutes. Love to have you come on out. Like if you want to talk to the NASA folks and all that, go be over at the convention center at 10, and then when you're done, mosey on over because we'll be open till 2 o'clock.
Yes, have some fun with Pioneer. All those places.
But I'm telling you, if you're looking for the books and that's your goal, be there at 10:01.
That's right. That's right.
But the flowers and stuff, you'd be good though.
Oh yeah, and go Coyotes tomorrow night.
That's right. Go Rockets night, Coyotes tomorrow night.
Yes.
And,
oh yeah, that'll be a good game.
Yeah,
Good
it's gonna be
local.
good.
Good locals. I'm
Absolutely.
just talking about football, but tonight, girls, I just love good volleyball. That's what I'm talking about.
I'll root for Artesia on certain occasions, but not this weekend. Not happening this weekend.
There you go.
Not
See,
this weekend.
That's right. That is right.
I'm
That
sorry,
is right.
Gene. Not rooting for the team this weekend.
We love you, but we'll talk to you. Hey, we love you, but we'll talk to you next week. See?
I can not in good conscience be saying anything supporting of Artesia this weekend.
Well, the only
Can I-
orange I wear is Texas Longhorn.
That's
orange.
right.
See, I can't do that.
do it. Other days we'll talk.
That's
Not-
right.
Not this week.
That's right.
So,
Thank
good
you for
day.
everything. Have a great day and
You
support all that Roswell has to offer.
See you this weekend.
There you go.
Come on in. All right, it is 8:53. Let's pause for news. Your Cowboys report, which people love to hear them at the beginning of the season. A little less, a little excited to hear those now. So we'll work one in, and then we'll be back. Don't go away.
Now your Pecos Valley news update. I'm Jared Cerullo. An ongoing investigation now resulting in charges filed against several people, as well as charges expected to be filed against others in connection to numerous instances of catalytic converters being stolen from cars. As the investigation continues in Roswell and more people are charged, police, their criminal investigation division, are asking people, citizens who have been the victims of catalytic converter thefts but have not reported them yet, to make those reports now. And police in Roswell are also releasing body cam video from August after a 10-year-old girl was accidentally shot and killed. The police body cam footage shows a distraught mother asking what happened and another child explaining to the woman that the girl was shot accidentally as other children were playing with a gun. The girl's father, Philip Ray Jaramillo, was eventually arrested and charged under the state's Benny Hargrove Safety Gun Act for negligently allowing a firearm to be accessible to a child. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo reporting.
Hey everyone, with your Cowboys report, I'm Christy Scales. Dan Quinn matches wits Monday night with former Cowboys offensive coordinator Kellen Moore, who's now the play caller for the Chargers. Quinn talks about gamesmanship between coaches right after this.
Whether you're getting ready to purchase a home, setting up a college fund for your kids, or preparing for retirement, you're working hard to live a life you love. And you deserve peace of mind knowing your home, loved ones, and future are protected. At SWBC, we can help you assess your personal situation and create a customized solution to make sure you're prepared for whatever life throws your way. Visit SWBC.com to learn about your mortgage, insurance, and wealth management options today. That's SWBC.com.
Todd thought it would be secure to jog in the cheetah savanna. Todd believed the big cat repellent he bought online was reliable. And now, Todd is trying to be faster than this cheetah that can run 80 miles per hour. But the good news is, Todd has AT&T 5G that is fast, reliable, and secure. And he learned the best thing to do is stop running and toss her the backpack with the beef stew. AT&T 5G. Fast, reliable, secure. It's not complicated.
5G requires compatible plan and device. 5G may not be available in your area. See att.com/5G for you for details.
After giving up 42 points to San Francisco, the Cowboys defense and coordinator Dan Quinn didn't have time to lick wounds this week, just make corrections and use today to begin game plan installation for Monday night's opponent in LA, the Chargers, led by former Cowboys quarterback and offensive coordinator Kellen Moore. Quinn and Moore worked together the past 3 seasons here at the Star, so there's familiarity.
Certainly Kellen and I do, just from a scheme and matchup standpoint of where we'll go. So there'll be definitely some gamesmanship back and forth, but it's still about the matchups and the guys and play like we want, get the energy generating plays that defines us, not as much about Kellen or I.
Moore and his star quarterback Justin Herbert have the 5th ranked offense in the league. With your Cowboys report, I'm Christy Scales.
All across America, this is the Lou Dobbs Business Report.
I'm Lou Dobbs. Another rate hike likely, inflation higher. Wall Street's still streaking despite a hotter than forecast inflation update yesterday. The Dow moving higher for a 4th consecutive session. Fedman is signaling another rate hike before the end of the year. The hawkish Fed says a tighter policy will remain in place until inflation comes down. Investors waiting on the September Consumer Price Index today. Yesterday's update showed inflation lower but still hot. Last month's Producer Price Index up 0.5% from the previous month. Auto worker strikes in their 4th week now. Detroit's Big Three and the UAW are reportedly closer to a deal. GM, Ford, and Stellantis agreeing to raise base salaries between 20 and 23% over 4 years. That deal would mark record-setting wage increases for nearly 150,000 auto workers. Walgreens reporting today overall earnings expected to be lower for the 4th quarter. Investors focused on the outlook. Walgreens shares down nearly 50% over the past 6 months. Please join me twice each weekday for the Lou Dobbs Business Report, right here.
Business news you need to know. Keep listening for more. This is the Lou Dobbs Business Report.
If you're a business owner, you need to know about the ERC program because you may be eligible for a refund of up to $26,000 per W-2 employee if you had employees on the payroll during the pandemic. ERC, or the Employee Retention Credit Program, is a government initiative to help business owners. Visit governmentaid.com to find out if you qualify. The process of filing is complex, and the team at governmentaid.com has the expertise to help. Visit governmentaid.com to see if you qualify for a refund. That's governmentaid.com.
The Fergalicious boys can keep you hot this winter. Fergalicious. Oh yeah, it's getting cold out there, and Fergus Plumbing and Heating has what you need to keep things hot in your home. They can come by and winterize your pipes and check your insulation, and you know they'll do it with nothing but love. Oh yeah, baby. Call the Fergalicious boys at Fergus Plumbing and Heating at 622-2660. When you need it hot, Fergus is on the job. Fergalicious.
From morning runs to playing with grandkids,
Taking part in activities brings great joy to our lives, but it can also come with injuries. And for those in physically demanding jobs, the daily grind can wear on muscles, bones, and joints and lead to acute and long-term disorders. If you're suffering from an orthopedic injury, let our Artesia General Hospital specialists help. The sooner you address the root cause, the sooner you'll be back to living life in motion. Learn more at artesiageneral.com/orthopedics.
Your home for Kim Commando in Roswell. 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico.
And we're closing in on 9 o'clock. Town Hall News coming up next. We'll talk with the folks from Tabernacle Baptist Church talking about their 95-year celebration. That's next hour. Don't go away. We'll be back.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. Israel and Hamas continuing to trade rocket fire as hundreds of thousands of Israeli troops mass on the Gaza border ahead of an expected Israeli ground offensive. Hosting Secretary of State Antony Blinken for talks in Tel Aviv, Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu.
This is a time, a particular time, a special time, that we must stand tall, proud, and united against evil.
The death toll from the war is at least 2,500. 22 Americans are among the dead, 17 others unaccounted for. And tomorrow, Secretary of State Blinken is expected to sit down with Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas. Meeting with American Jewish leaders at the White House, President Biden declares that the U.S. has Israel's back. Previously, the president approved the release of $6 billion in frozen assets to Israel's arch-enemy, Iran. Republican Senators Tom Cotton and Mitch McConnell drafted a bill aimed at putting the funds back in the freezer. Steve Scalise, one step closer to winning the Speaker's gavel. A Louisiana Republican nominated for the post of Speaker of the House. The actual vote has yet to take place.
First, I want to thank my House Republican colleagues for just designating me as the Speaker. Obviously, we still have work to do. We're going to have to go upstairs on the House floor and resolve this and then get the House opened again. We have a lot of work to do.
A key gauge of inflation, the Consumer Price Index rose 0.4% from August to September. It was below the previous month's 0.6 increase. Year over year, inflation was unchanged last month from a 3.7% rise in August. On Wall Street, the Dow is down 94 points, the Nasdaq trading 14 points higher. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. Their prices are direct from the airlines, and they're so low you can't find these fares published anywhere. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, they can help you get there cheaply and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call right now for the lowest travel prices anywhere and for great last-minute travel deals too.
Call 866-755-5300. That's 866-755-5300. Again, that's 866-755-5300. Call us right now.
Authorities in Romania say they've discovered a crater on their territory near the border with Ukraine. They think it was probably caused by a crashed drone that blew up on impact. Today's pre-dawn discovery revives concerns about possible spillover from Russia's war in Ukraine onto a NATO member country's soil. The crater was found across the Danube from a Ukrainian port after Romania's defense ministry said it detected a series of drones heading toward Ukrainian river ports. Taiwan keeping a close eye on the war in the Middle East for lessons amid what the self-governing island says is a campaign of intimidation and threats by communist China. The latest Hamas-Israel conflict has claimed at least 2,500 lives on both sides and is expected to escalate. Taiwan's defense minister says that the war blew up so suddenly and that Taiwan plans to step up its ability to forecast possible threats from China. News and analysis, townhall.com. A short journey for a fledgling airline.
Malaysian budget carrier My Airline abruptly suspended operations, citing financial pressures less than 11 months after it took to the skies. The unexpected announcement on social media caught many by surprise and left angry passengers stranded at the airport. The airline launched flights last December with a fleet of 9 aircraft that flies to domestic destinations and Thailand's capital of Bangkok. Malaysia's aviation authority said it was investigating the airline over complaints employees' salaries were unpaid, among other issues. Rhonda Rockster reporting.
Millions of Social Security recipients will be getting a 3.2% increase in their benefits in 2024. That is far less than this year's historic boost and reflects moderating consumer prices. The Social Security Administration says the average recipient will get about $50 more per month. That's starting in January. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3.
Terracer Inviernos. I forgot the word there. Just trying to mess up the first word and messed up both of them.
You tried to go accented with it. And
That's right.
It turned out you spent more time on the accent and forgot what you're supposed to say.
Didn't plan that one out.
It happens.
Mm-hmm.
It happens. Happy, oh so happy Thursday, everybody.
Yes.
Big, busy Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
Don't forget, we got high school football action for you tonight.
Yes.
As your Goddard Rockets begin district play and travel to Las Cruces, New Mexico to take on Mayfield. That game,
War.
yes, that game will be Rockets versus the Trojans.
Mm-hmm.
Got to go with technology.
I'm just saying.
Rockets.
You put a bunch of dudes inside of a wooden horse. You put that up against a rocket. Kind of put my bet on the rocket.
Yeah, you got to feel with the rocket there. We're strictly power, right there. But anyway, big game tonight. You can, we will have that game for you on our sister station, 106.1 FM Fierro. Not a stepsister. They're full-on sister.
Full-blown.
Yeah.
Full-blown sister.
Got same parents and everything. But
the broadcast coming from our stepsister.
Yes. Well, we will be getting, we're going to have audio only on, obviously, the radio, but also on video as well tonight. We're going to have the folks at Las Cruces there going to call the game for us, and we'll bring it to you on 106.1 FM Fierro and audio only on the video channel at ksvptv.com. They'll have
I know,
the
it's
scoreboard,
confusing.
but you can hear it, but it'll be a screen with probably a picture and a scoreboard.
But this is an opportunity for you to witness a game like you've never witnessed before.
Yeah.
Because your players could run faster, jump higher. In your head, what you're watching is like the Monstars versus like the Looney Tunes.
There you go. Yeah. Whatever.
Or it could be. I'm just saying it could be.
Or new My Little Pony versus old My Little Pony.
I watched the Rockets tackle a kickoff. Like it was a kickoff return, and they tackled the returner in like literally in the end zone.
Okay.
I mean that their team is phenomenal this year. Pretty much all the teams here in southeastern Mexico.
Oh, yeah. Well,
they're
it's going to be good.
They got a ticket to the dance for sure.
But, yeah, we're going to have Jeff Matthews from Cool Oldies 104.5 and AM 570 in Las Cruces.
Bet they have one of those singing.
He's going to call the game for us.
Singing IDs. Cool 104.5.
And they spell K with a cool with a K.
Of course, you have to.
Mm-hmm.
That's a law.
Yeah, I like it. And it's got snow on it.
Well, because it's cool.
And a penguin.
Ooh, because it's very cool.
Two things you don't see in New Mexico.
I bet that's one of those stations that does all Christmas music at Christmas time.
Should. If you're going to have snow on your logo, you better play Christmas music.
Cool Christmas with Cool FM.
Yeah, if you got snow on your logo in New Mexico, you better play Christmas music at nauseum. Christmas time.
Yep.
You just have to.
Full pull back of the curtain, kids. 80% of creativity in radio is just alliteration. It's just finding words that have the same first letter. That's really most of what we do for a living.
We're quite skilled at it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. I would argue experts.
That's right.
Put in our
pay us
10,000
to do that.
Professional alliterators.
Somebody paid us money to do that. But, yeah, so we'll have that game for you tonight. 106.1 FM Fierro and audio only at ksvptv.com and the Goddard Rocket channel. Kickoff will be at 7 p.m. We'll start our pregame right around 6:45-ish.
Yep.
Give or take here. I got to still put the interviews in and all that. That's what I get to do after the show today.
And I got to do that open.
Get the games ready for tonight here. And then, of course, tomorrow night, got the big
battle for supremacy.
The biggest game in the state this weekend will be tomorrow night at the Wool Bowl as 1 and 2 square off. Artesia and the Coyotes will meet at the Wool Bowl here. So it's going to be a great game. That will be right here on the radio, 106.5, and live streaming video, ksvptv.com. However, if you have an ability and the availability to be in the Wool Bowl tomorrow night, you must be there.
Oh, absolutely.
You must. Because Artesia is going to fill that home side or that visitor side up. They're going to be orange from one end of that stand to the other. Make sure the other side, the home side, that Roswell side, is matching with an equal number of red.
Oranges versus reds.
Yeah, so let's line up and root on the Coyotes at home tomorrow night for the biggest game in the state.
The Crimson Sea.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, it sounded right.
Now we're starting to get into like Marvel stuff.
A sea of crimson. All the players saw when they looked in the stands that night. I'm just picturing like my NFL 30 for 30.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, you need the music and that voice.
Yeah.
You know what was funny?
It was.
If you watched this most recent season of Hard Knocks on HBO there, they followed the Jets and Aaron Rodgers and all that. It was a fun little watch.
I didn't follow him long.
But he got hurt shortly thereafter. But that's show in for the season there. But one of the things that Aaron had in there that made me laugh is he was so excited to meet the voice. The actual guy that's the voice of Hard Knocks that's been doing all the narration for 100 years and everything. I guess he lives in New York and all that. And so he would come out to the practices and watch, and it was like a big deal. Aaron Rodgers was like, did you know the voice is here? And there's like a whole thing where he's running around introducing the voice to all other teammates. Like, you know who this guy is? He's the voice. He's the voice of God on...
Do the thing.
On Hard Knocks. And it was funny watching Aaron literally act like a fanboy marking out for the voice guy of Hard Knocks.
Acting like one of us. Like you would think after years and years of dealing with it from other people, you would avoid it at all costs for yourself. But
I mean, because
that just shows you there's tiers to things.
Well, and it's what people are fans of everything. Even big name people are fans of something, and they got their fans experience too. And obviously a guy like Aaron Rodgers, who probably watches a lot of football and plays, obviously, probably knows Hard Knocks, and he probably grew up watching because Hard Knocks been on forever. So he probably grew up in that window too, watching Hard Knocks, and just kind of probably envisioned himself one day, that guy mentioning Aaron Rodgers on the, you know what I mean? He probably did all that too. So it was kind of neat to see that come full circle for a little bit on it. But anyway, that I have no idea why I went deep down into that story, but kind of talking about voices in football just kind of happened. So, but big game tonight.
Yes.
106.1 Fierro and audio only KSVPTV.com. Tomorrow night, big game right here, 106.5 and KSVP TV video the Goddard channel for tonight, Coyote channel for tomorrow night.
And we're only just getting started with the district season.
Yeah. As far as what's on tap for this hour of the show, we got you covered too. We'll get you up to date with the weather here in just a bit. Enjoy 87 today, because we're going to be in a beautiful 75-degree days for like the next 3 days.
This is the sweet spot.
Yeah, it's going to get a little breezy today because it's bringing in the colder, the 10-degree drop for tomorrow, or 15-degree drop for tomorrow.
Right.
So today will be a little breezy and a high of 87, but then tomorrow, and I think the overnight low tomorrow night is 49, which means it's below 50, which means you probably want to bring a sweater or a light jacket when you go to, would you call it the Crimson?
The Sea of Crimson.
If you're going to the Sea of Crimson, bring a sweater. It'll be chilly.
Honey, would you like to go to the Crimson Sea?
Bring a sweater.
It's going to get chilly as the tide rolls in off the sea.
Exactly. So, but that's
that coastal
big
air.
Weekend here. We'll have it here for you. As far as this hour goes, like I said, we'll get you updated with the weather. And then here in a few minutes, we've got some of the folks from Tabernacle Baptist Church joining us. Senior Pastor Michael Kaufman and Assistant Pastor Pete Merlo. And this Sunday, they're kicking off their 95th anniversary celebration. They're going to have special services this Sunday, and then next week as well, too. So they're going to join us and talk about that. Invite everyone to come celebrate 95 years of Tabernacle Baptist Church.
Last time you saw a 95-year-old that moves like this. Just saying.
They do look a lot younger than the 95.
Yeah, they're still kicking.
They look good for 95. They look like they're ready to well-oiled machine. But anyway, we'll talk with them and invite folks to come on out. And if you're looking for a church home, then they've got a lot of things to offer you. So we'll talk about that with them here in just a bit. Later on in the hour, we'll get you up to date with news of the local variety, along with your Wall Street business update and your Hannity update and whatever else we can come up with for this hour of the show. Before we do that, let's go ahead and get you going on that weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We have cold front moving through the area. That'll bring us very gusty wind off and on today. Wind up to 25 or 30 miles an hour at times, and very warm. Our afternoon high in the upper 80s with sunshine. Overnight will be clear, low 50s, and then cooling off a little bit on Friday. Sunshine, not as windy, and about 75. Mid-70s and sunny on Saturday, and then upper 70s and sunny Sunday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 77 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 26%. Winds, they are blowing a bit out of the southwest to 10, gusting to 16 miles per hour. Sunny today, 87. As I mentioned, it's going to be hot. Winds will be out of the west, 10 to 20 miles per hour this afternoon. Clear tonight with an overnight low of 50. Northwest winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. Friday, cooler, 75 for a high tomorrow. Under sunny skies, winds out of the northwest 5 to 15 miles per hour. Tomorrow night, clear with an overnight low of 46. East winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Saturday, more sunny, 75. Northwest winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Clear with an overnight low of 49 Saturday night. And then Sunday, sunny skies, highs back around 76 degrees. Just kind of glance at next week. We'll be near 80 Monday and Tuesday, and then back up in the upper 80s by Wednesday of next week, it looks like. That's what they're saying early. We'll see. All right, it is 9:17. We're going to take a 2-minute break, and then we'll talk with the folks from Tabernacle Baptist Church on the other side of the break. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Sure, you can inspect your own roof, get out that rickety ladder, crawl around up there and try to spot the problem until... Or you could call the experts at Do Right Roofing. Do Right Roofing has quality products for any type of roof. They can even install seamless gutters. Do Right Roofing will inspect your roof and give you a free estimate fast. Keep your feet on the ground. Call Do Right Roofing today.
575-623-2273. Let Do Right do your roof right.
Find them fast in names and numbers.
The NMMI Broncos are back in the top 14 and looking to become Junior College Bowl eligible this Saturday as the Broncos host the Wranglers of Cisco College. The win last week over Tyler was huge for NMMI. Let's turn out to the Wool Bowl Saturday at 3 p.m. and cheer on your Broncos. NMMI Broncos versus Cisco College Wranglers, Saturday 3 p.m. at the historic Wool Bowl in Roswell, New Mexico. Don't miss it.
A good night's sleep is so important, and issues like sleep apnea make falling asleep and staying asleep nearly impossible, but we can help. I'm Dr. Sarah Usher at Carabelli Dental. With the help of a simple oral appliance, your sleepless nights could be a thing of the past. But don't take my word for it, just ask Lainey.
My name is Lainey Smith. I wasn't surprised when I found out I had sleep apnea simply because I had a horrible sleep pattern. I attempted to use the machine and it drove me nuts and I could not sleep with it. And then that's when Dr. Agger told me about the oral appliance. I would suspect I've been using it for 2 years now. In all of that time, I've had less than 10 poor nights of sleep. It's a complete game changer. I feel a lot better because I sleep.
This simple appliance can change your life. Call us today to set up your appointment so you can finally get the good night's sleep you need.
Come see the team at Carabelli Dental at the corner of 9th and Main in Roswell, or call 575-622-4455.
You are 13.8% more likely to die on your birthday. Think about that the next time you want to celebrate your birthday month. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 20 minutes after 9 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from Tabernacle Baptist Church, we have Senior Pastor Michael Kaufman and Assistant Pastor Pete Merlo as well. Good morning, gentlemen. How y'all doing today?
Good. Thank you for having us.
Well, thanks for coming in. This is pretty exciting for Tabernacle Baptist Church. I'll get that out right here. And But for folks that don't know, the church, we knew has been around for a long time.
Yeah.
But we are celebrating 95 years of Tabernacle Baptist Church.
Yes, sir.
And I always like, because your church is located in such a spot where it's like right downtown in the heart of everything.
Yes, sir.
So like whenever there's, like this weekend, it's going to be a busy weekend at the convention center with the Science and Art Fair on Saturday.
Yes,
And of course, we got the solar eclipse. And
yes, sir.
So there's always a lot going on there in the planetarium. But right next to the planetarium and all that is Tabernacle Baptist Church.
Yes, sir.
And you guys are always busy, because I'm going to say at least once a month, I'll see like the side street there closed because there's some kind of festival or event that the church is playing. So you guys are pretty busy all the time, aren't you?
Yeah, we try to be. We're one of those churches that's really passionate about reaching our community, and you know, we believe we have something to check out.
Absolutely.
You know, we have families of all ages at our church, and we just absolutely love the Lord, love His Word, and we want people to come and see that. So
Sure.
that's a reality. Yes, sir.
Now, how long have you gentlemen been associated with this church here? Obviously not 95 years.
Yeah.
'Cause I don't,
Yes, sir.
I'm guessing there's probably not many original members.
Yeah, November for me will be 3 years.
Okay. Good deal. How about for you?
I've been on staff for 18 years.
All right, so you've got a little bit of experience under your belt.
But I did my internship there in 1979.
Okay, so you got into pastor. This was your first stomping grounds, basically, for getting into your profession and everything.
Yes.
I love that. So it probably evokes a lot of memories for you.
Yes, a whole lot. All the way back to a child. When my dad was in Vietnam, we lived at the base, and
so you were a member of the church back then?
No,
okay.
But they sent a bus out to the base to pick up the military kids, and hopped on the bus and came to church.
And by the way, you guys still have the most iconic the bus with the color, like of all the church buses. I'm like, oh, there's the Tabernacle one. It sticks out like the ice cream man. You just know what's coming.
People spot it for sure. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So it's funny you said that, because I'm like, that's one of those things I always, when I think of your church, I think of the bus.
Yes, sir.
That's really cool. But this Sunday, you guys are going to have a special, you have services every Sunday.
Yes, sir.
It's church. But this Sunday, we're going to kind of special focus on the history of Tabernacle Baptist Church. You guys are going to have some senior members that have been that's called the church home visiting, and maybe some probably friends and family that used to call the church home that have maybe moved to other parts or other life, put them in a different direction. They're going to come home for the weekend.
And you have people coming from all over. We have a family I just heard of yesterday coming all the way from Missouri.
Wow.
And so they started out in the bus ministry. I think it was your dad, if I understood, reached them. And they started coming. They got saved, gave their life to Jesus Christ, and just started serving in the bus ministry.
How awesome is that?
Oh, yeah. So I'm excited. I've never met them, so I'm excited to meet them.
So I love that this is going to be really a weekend of reconnecting people with people that really found God through the church.
Oh, yeah.
Through this church.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? And whatever stage they were in their lives at some point. Which,
yes, sir.
that's a beautiful thing. That's just
Yeah.
great to see. So we would love to invite folks. Obviously, if you've called Tabernacle Church your home at one time, we really, really would love to have you come and rekindle memories and come visit some old faces and new faces.
Yeah.
And then, of course, if you're looking for a church home, then this Sunday's a perfect time to
Yes,
come in
sir.
for a visit and see what this church. You're literally going to meet generations of Tabernacle Baptist Church members. This is Sunday and next week as well too.
Yes, sir. Yeah, it's a special service. We're meeting at 10:30, and we're going to have a singing group come down from Oklahoma City, and so
Okay.
they're going to be with us.
Almost as far as the people from Missouri, not quite.
Yes, sir. Quite a ways.
They don't get the most frequent flyer miles. The Missouri people still got
Oh, yeah. Yes, sir. So yeah, we have that. We have a special guest preacher that's going to be preaching for us Sunday through Wednesday, and we're going to have a meal after the service Sunday. And so, yeah.
Of course you are. You can't have gathering without food.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
That's and I imagine that one's going to be a good one because you're going to have probably some people that were haven't done it in a while. Maybe come and say, I'm back in on food. Let's go.
Whatever it takes. Whatever it takes.
It's very good. Now that's on Sunday. Now
Yes, sir.
we want to invite everybody out. 10:30 is when the services
Yes, sir.
start, so you get there probably 15, 20 minutes early.
Yes, sir.
Find you a good spot, meet, visit, and do everything,
Yes,
but
sir.
get settled before the services begin, and then stick around afterwards for socialing and the food and all the fun stuff that kind of people love about church.
Oh, yeah.
You know, the
Yes,
part
sir.
that really does the community side.
Oh,
of it.
yeah.
You know,
Yes,
the
sir,
services are important and everything, but I think the real community work happens after church over a cup of coffee or a donut or lunch or something.
Enchiladas.
You know? Yeah, or enchiladas. Yeah, you know, that's where the real work gets done sometimes. So come visit, come see what the church is about.
do.
Come see, and I'm kind of curious because as your church, like you said, it's a very family church. Lots of kids, lots of young families, lots of. I'm kind of curious, especially since you've seen this church for many generations here. Does it ebb and flow over these times where as our population, obviously in the 80s and these earlier times, we were more of a senior heavy community, and there was more retirees than probably families showing up in churches.
Right.
And
At
things.
one time, different times we have different people. Sometimes we had more elderly.
Sure.
And then during the 80s, there was a lot of children, and now we're back to we have a whole lot of children. But our
kind of
church,
ebbs and flows, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Just as the population does. So.
But our church has run bus ministry since the 40s.
So it's always been about the kids.
Started off with a Model A fruit truck.
Yeah.
And so there's people all over Roswell that rode a bus when they were a child. They might be 70 years old now, but we'd like to invite them back. If they rode when they were a child on a bus, come back
I know
for
it's
the
late
reunion.
in the ball game. I think you should let the seniors get picked up by the bus. Like these folks that were picked up as a kid, just say, hey, this Sunday, let the bus come pick you up. We'll all get the bus. It just is a stroll down memory lane. We're all taking the bus to church this morning. That'd be fun.
Yes,
I know
sir.
that's a lot of logistics to work out, but who knows? Maybe for a 100 we could do something like that.
For sure.
We got 5 years to figure it out.
Yes, sir. Oh, yeah. Yes, sir.
But don't worry if Sunday's really busy for you and you got a lot of things. Don't worry, the celebration continues. You guys are going to have services next week as well,
Yes, sir.
too.
Monday through Wednesday at 7:00.
Yeah, so you can come every evening.
Oh, yeah.
And come, and I'm sure there'll be more food and social and fellowship.
Yes, sir.
And then come out for services,
Yes, sir.
and so you come to all 3 evenings if you want, or all 4 if you want to include Sunday there.
Yes, sir.
And just come and meet, mingle, and I imagine. Like the family from Missouri, I hope they're going to stay for the rest of the services. If you drove all that way to come down, might as well stay for more than one service.
Yeah.
And get your. I know they want the green chili fix.
Oh, yeah.
Because they ain't finding that in Missouri. I can tell you that right
that's
now.
for sure.
So
Yes, sir.
definitely do that. And then obviously, if you're looking for the church home, you're looking to get involved. Come meet the families that call this church home. Come meet the staff. Come meet
for sure.
everyone that's a part of this. And I think you'll find out that if you love just community, family-based times where you can get together and come and have events and things that really just enrich and nourish and make your family just a much better God-fearing or God-serving people. This is really what this is about.
Yes,
just coming and finding that connection with others and with God. And
for sure.
And obviously a church that's been doing it for 95 years generally has a pretty good routine on how to do that by now.
Yeah, that's really, I think that's one of the reasons why Tabernacle's been so successful is because our main focus is the Word of God, and I think churches sometimes can get that backwards and confused. And, to reach people, we got to entertain people nowadays. But what we have found is you just love the Lord and preach the Word of God.
The rest will work itself out.
Oh, yeah. Yes, sir.
Yeah. The fun and fellowship is there.
Yeah.
But you're right. That's the message is we're coming here to honor God and to try to live our lives as close to God wants us to. And the thing about humans is we mess that up sometimes.
Oh, for sure. And we're all sinners. It's what the Bible says, and that's why we need Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
We need His Word, and that's what's worked in our life, and that's what works in everybody's life if they give God a chance.
And I would even offer, maybe if you're falling your way, because life happens, especially in the world we live in now. It's mental health and things. It's easy to question.
Yeah.
And some people, if that's maybe it's time to come back to church. Maybe it's time to sit down and talk with people and really help navigate life through God's teachings and through what God has taught us and how we can do that. And I hate to say it, but if you want the answer to get everything that's going on now, that's the one. That's it.
Well, that's what we're finding. People are looking for answers. They are coming back to church, and they understand that the answers are found in the Word of God, and that's what we need. The solution isn't politics. The solution is Jesus Christ and a saving relationship with Him, and that's what we're passionate about.
Yeah.
And I believe right now, with as bad as things are, people are longing for those answers, and they're in the Word of God. And so that's what we're going to be doing Sunday through Wednesday. Is we're getting to the Word of God. We're going to be preaching it.
Yeah.
And I truly believe lives will be changed, souls saved, and
Come celebrate.
Yes, sir. It is something worth celebrating.
Yeah,
for sure.
It is a party this weekend. That's what it is. At the end of the day, it is. But obviously we're going to keep it with. But it's going to be a lot of fun. It's a joyous occasion to celebrate a home that people have called for a lifetime for many of these folks.
Oh, yeah.
And we're celebrating that, and some that maybe grew up and maybe they've gone on to live their lives. Now come home and see the place that created your foundation.
Yes, sir.
They created your foundation for your path. And that's what this weekend's about, to remind everybody, we're all in it together. We're on this planet sharing it. We're all celebrating. We're all God's children. Let's come and celebrate the blessings and remind each other and give each other the strength for whatever obstacles are coming ahead. And I've got a feeling we're going to have a few.
Yeah.
Let's strengthen and guide and nurture each other through God with it.
Oh yeah,
so.
Sir.
If anybody has questions, of course, if you need a GPS or anything, their official address is 115 West 11th Street. It's right next to right across 11th Street from the museum and the planetarium there, which on the other side of that is the convention center. So you can't miss it. It's the church right there next to the convention center and all that there.
And catty corner from the Brenham Field.
Yes. So if you come out, see some soccer games or some other major events, there's a lot of events that happen on that right there. Tabernacle Church is always right there in the heart of all of that stuff.
Yes, sir.
So, So, and I would invite you, maybe on one of these Saturdays and stuff, you're going to see the planetarium and go see when you're done, walk across the street, go visit the church, go say hi and just pop in. And I bet you walk in, even if it's not like a church day per se, you walk in, you probably get a cup of coffee and a visit. And you know what I mean?
We'd love the opportunity.
Yeah.
For sure.
So please come see it. And if you've never been and you want to make it your first time, then this weekend's a pretty good time to come see it and do all that. What's the best website and everything if people want to do their own research and learn a little bit more about your church family and all that?
It's tbcroswell.com.
Okay. And do you guys have Facebook or any social? So if you find Tabernacle Baptist Church on Facebook, might want to put a Roswell NM in there in case there's another Tabernacle Baptist Church in other parts of the world that you accidentally stumble upon.
Yeah. And if you go through our website, you could click the links through that and get to it for sure.
Especially if it just so happens to be one in Roswell, Georgia. How weird would that be?
For sure. Probably is.
Well, I know I still to this day, every once in a while, I have to do a double take on the Roswell Police Department when I do a search and I want to look for something because I got to pay attention because every once in a while I'm like, this is Georgia. It's like, wow, no, that's Georgia. Like, wow, these pictures look at the grass. It's very green. But come on out. And then, and what's your normal service times and everything for outside of our normal celebration weekend here?
Our normal service is Sunday school is at 10 a.m.
Okay.
Main service at 11. Then we also have an evening service on Sunday at 6.
Okay.
And then we have a Wednesday night service at 7.
Very good. So come to all or some or whatever, your family's available to come. And if you miss 1 week, no biggie. Come back next week. We'll see you next time. And I guarantee probably going to be food at every one of these. And food. That's food and fellowship. That's
Either that or we'll take you out there.
That's right.
Whatever we got to do.
There's always a pot of coffee going, and there's always some kind of pastry somewhere.
Yes, sir.
It's just like a church rule.
Yeah.
I think it just has to be. But come celebrate. Come see 95 years of the church. Come meet new people. Come meet people you hadn't seen in a while.
Yes, sir.
Come celebrate. Come hear our guest pastors and lecturers. Hear their. It's always nice, especially for your regular congregation. Every once in a while, it's always nice to hear the message through a different voice sometimes.
Oh, yeah. And I'm looking forward to it. I need preaching too, so I'm looking forward to it.
So do you guys get a day off when you have a guest preacher? Do you get to just sit in the pulpit or sit in the crowd, just watch, or do you have to?
We're there. We're listening, learning, growing.
I didn't know if you get just become a parishioner at that point. You're like, no, I'm here waiting for communion.
Yes, sir.
It's like, I was like, he was like, do you get the day off from? You just don't have to do the sermon that day. You get off for the sermon. You still got to run.
I get fed too. I need it.
Yeah,
for sure.
Absolutely. Well, that's just it, And I imagine you guys help each other. And in the world of church, I imagine that's where the pastors and associate pastors, you guys are each other's mentors.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously, senior pastor kind of looks at the flock here, but there's times where I'm sure, Pete's got to come in and be your pastor for a minute.
Yes, sir.
And of course, too, don't forget the other side. If you're having family and you wanted to talk to someone, or if you're needing, you're like you said, you're just looking for guidance, please come in, say, hey, I heard the pastor's on this morning. Can I sit down and have a conversation with? Either one of you two gentlemen would do it. I'm sure any one of your other pastors would be, or church volunteers would be happy to support and make sure that
it'd be an honor for sure.
Yeah, so please reach out. And even if you don't have no problems, you just want to come and celebrate God, then guess what? Come hungry and come ready to celebrate.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yes, sir.
Absolutely. Yes, sir. Is there any information that we wanted to share that we just spaced out on?
We have that bus ministry. We run 5 different bus routes every Sunday morning in Roswell. We go as far out as the base. We even go all the way up to Walmart.
So they just call the church? If they call you and say, hey,
if they call and say they want to come, or if they want their children to come, we have a great children's program.
Yeah.
And the bus will come right to their door, pick up their children. We have a shuttle that's air conditioned for the seniors that we run Sunday morning, Sunday night, Wednesday night.
So transportation to Tabernacle has never been a problem. We'll find a way to get you there.
Oh, yeah.
If you're having trouble, reach out, call the church, or shoot a message online, whatever your preference is there, and we will make sure one of those buses will get on the route and come get you, your family, your children, your grandparents, whoever you need to pick up. We'll make sure we get you.
We'll make sure they get a ride to church and a ride home.
And a ride home, too. Unless they don't want to leave, and then we'll put them to work.
Oh, yeah.
All right, if you're living here, then can you clean the bathrooms every once in a while?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Well, thank you, gentlemen. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Anytime you guys come on, shoot me a call. If we even if it's not a particular event, just saying, hey, love to come and invite people to our church home. Love to have you.
Sure, awesome. So, well, thank you for the opportunity.
Anytime. And here's to another 95 years. We'll see you in 95.
Oh, yeah.
No, but I guess in 5 years we got a big one planned.
Oh, yeah.
100.
Yes,
that's a big deal. You got to do something there. So we'll see you in 5 for sure.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yes,
all right,
sir.
great.
Thank you guys very much.
Thank you very much.
All right, it is 9:38. Let's pause for local news, your Sean Hannity update, also your Wall Street Business update, and a few commercials to pay for lunch. Don't go away. We'll be back. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Now your Pecos Valley News update. I'm Jared Cerello. An ongoing investigation now resulting in charges filed against several people, as well as charges expected to be filed against others in connection to numerous instances of catalytic converters being stolen from cars. As the investigation continues in Roswell and more people are charged, police, their criminal investigation division, are asking people, citizens who have been the victims of catalytic converter thefts but have not reported them yet, to make those reports now. And police in Roswell are also releasing body cam video from August after a 10-year-old girl was accidentally shot and killed. The police body cam footage shows a distraught mother asking what happened and another child explaining to the woman that the girl was shot accidentally as other children were playing with a gun. The girl's father, Philip Ray Jaramillo, was eventually arrested and charged under the state's Benny Hargrove Safety Gun Act for negligently allowing a firearm to be accessible to a child. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo reporting.
Turn up your radio. Here's the Sean Hannity Morning Minute.
I've known Bibi Netanyahu for years. I'm telling you, I can assure you, he means what he says. He will follow through. And the days of Hamas brutalizing this region will come to an end. That will be the net result. Because this can't continue, especially as the weaponry gets more and more sophisticated and more deadly. But they're about to be annihilated in Gaza. You know, while I was on TV last night, we were on from 9 to 11 p.m. While I was on TV, the Israelis, their fighter jets, 450 strikes in 2 hours while I was on the air last night. Now, understand this. Israel, this is a fight for their survival.
Check out the Sean Hannity radio show later today, right here.
You ever wish your personal safety came with a safety net? Well, it does with Byrna, B-Y-R-N-A. Now, in today's world, protection is paramount. Now, Byrna is a less lethal launcher, and it offers a middle ground. And by the way, it's legal in all 50 states. No permits, no background checks needed. Now, this is not your ordinary defense tool. Byrna is simple and easy to use for everyone. It delivers powerful deterrents like tear gas and kinetic rounds that incapacitate attackers for up to 40 minutes. Now, both law enforcement and everyday civilians trust Byrna, and that's a testament to their effectiveness. Now, remember, safety is about choices. The Byrna launcher gives an alternative to escalation, a chance to choose restraint. Byrna is an American company. Their manufacturing facilities are in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Check out their website, Byrna.com/Hannity. You'll get 10% off. That's BYRNA.com/Hannity. And when you see their videos, they'll blow you away, because when defense is needed, making the right choice means valuing every life.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We have cold front moving through the area that'll bring us very gusty wind off and on today. Wind up to 25 or 30 miles an hour at times, and very warm. Our afternoon high in the upper 80s with sunshine. Overnight will be clear, low 50s, and then cooling off a little bit on Friday. Sunshine, not as windy, and about 75. Mid-70s and sunny on Saturday, and then upper 70s and sunny Sunday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason. The Consumer Price Index rose 0.4% from August to September, below the previous month's 0.6 pace. Year over year, inflation in September unchanged from a 3.7% rise in August. Millions of Social Security recipients will get a 3.2% increase in benefits in 2024. That is far less than this year's historic boost. It reflects moderating consumer prices. The Social Security Administration says the average recipient will get more than $50 per month more beginning in January. The number of Americans applying for unemployment benefits was unchanged last week. Unemployment claims stayed at 209,000 for the week ending October 7th. Stocks opened slightly higher this morning on Wall Street before the key averages turned mixed at mid-morning. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason.
The smell is in the air, and you know what that means. It's green chili season. Stock up at the place that's been making people's mouths water for many years. Graves Farm. They can satisfy your chili craving no matter how big or small. Even larger quantities like by the bushel or half bushel. And if you love super spicy or not so much, they've got you covered. Available in Big Jim, extra hot, regular hot, and mild. They'll also ship to anywhere in the United States. Call direct 575-622-1889 or stop by the store 6.5 miles southeast of Roswell. EBT, WIC, and all major credit and debit Debit cards are accepted.
The Rehabilitation Center at Artesia General Hospital offers a variety of services led by experienced licensed therapists, including physical therapy, occupational therapy, and speech therapy. Their multidisciplinary team provides a complete evaluation with the full support of your primary care provider to develop a custom plan to support your personal goals and recovery needs. These treatment plans help manage symptoms, educate patients and their families, and ultimately get back to the activities that bring you joy. Learn more at artesiageneral.com/rehab.
Hey, this is Jennifer from Trustmark Roofing. Every storm chaser's worst nightmare. You know storm chasers, those out-of-town roofers that descend on neighborhoods after big storms. They come in, do a crummy job, then poof, they're gone forever. Well, a few years ago, our area had a hailstorm, and right on cue, storm chasers showed up. I was driving home from work one evening and saw one talking to an elderly lady on her porch. I said, "Not today, buddy." I did a U-turn, pulled in the driveway, and walked right up to them. I warned the woman who they were talking to, and I chased away the storm chaser. The woman's daughter called me later and said a storm chaser ripped them off a few years ago. She thanked me for stopping this one and chose Trustmark for her roof. Trustmark Roofing. Every storm chaser's nightmare. Every homeowner's champion. Call today for your 20% off coupon for our spring and roof gutter maintenance service. 575-755-ROOF. Or visit TrustmarkRoofPros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
Your locally owned and operated Big O Tires has the best deals on tires, brakes, oil changes, and more. Now through October 29th, get $70 to $100 instant savings on 4 select in-stock Pirelli, Goodyear, and Cooper tires. Plus, synthetic blend oil changes for just $24.95 and full synthetic oil changes for just $44.95. These savings won't last. Make an appointment online or head into Big O Tires today. Big O Tires, the team you trust.
Are you ready to make a real difference in your community? Introducing the New Mexico Army National Guard. Serve your community with pride and become a part-time hero. Join our dedicated team and enjoy the adventure of a lifetime. Get full-time benefits without sacrificing your current career or education. When disaster strikes and your community needs assistance, you'll be there to lend a helping hand. So don't miss out on the opportunity to receive education, adventure, and financial stability, all while serving your country. Get started by visiting our website, nationalguard.com/NM.
Roswell High, along with Farmers Country Markets, Dion's Pizza, Salads and Subs, McDonald's, Cattle Baron, Wakefield Oil Express, Dunkin' Donuts, Texas Roadhouse, and 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM are proud to present the September Teacher of the Month, Elizabeth Nahar. Mrs. Nahar teaches 11th grade English and is a yearbook advisor. This proud ENMU grad is also the proud mother of 2 beautiful children. Now in her 2nd year at Roswell High and her 8th as an educator, Mrs. Nahar pushes her students to be their best. As nominator Anahi Dominguez says, she truly cares for all her students. Congratulations, Elizabeth Nahar, September's Teacher of the Month.
Go Cowboys! This is Dallas Cowboys football 2023.
Jones play action, chased out of the pocket.
Only heard here.
Hit, sack, fumble. Van Der Esch has it.
All season.
To the 5 and runs it in.
Monday night, it's your Cowboys and the Los Angeles Chargers. Live from SoFi Stadium on this Dallas Cowboys radio network station.
Pre-game at 5, kickoff at 6. On your official Dallas Cowboys station, 92.9 The Brand.
It's possible to turn peanut butter into diamonds. Peter Pan tried it with his buddy Skippy, but they couldn't do it in a jiff. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is closing in on 9:47. Got a couple minutes here before we get kicked off the radio and Clay and Buck take over the airwaves here. Don't forget, got a lot of stuff going on this weekend. We've been talking about all the different events and things. If you tuned in the 7 o'clock hour, we replayed our interview we had with the folks from Tobosa Developmental Services. They've got their 5th annual Stepping Out for Children event. That's Saturday from 1 to 4 p.m. And it's going to be on the Chaves County Courthouse lawn this Saturday. They're going to have fun, games, food, prizes. They're going to have the booths out there with all of the stuff for Los Pasitos, Tobosa Developmental Services, Little Steps Daycare Center, as well as other nonprofits are invited to come be a part of this. And I think if you call them like today, like right now, and say, hey, I just heard you got the event on Saturday. Can we set up a booth? They might be able to work you in. You got to call them, though. Call Tobosa for information, 575-623-0849. Again, 575-623-0849. 0849, and then make sure you're available from 1 to 4 on Saturday at the courthouse lawn for that. But if you go to tobosa.org, you can learn more about the event as well. Tobosa.org, and spelled Tobosa with a O. Tobosa. In my head, I always wanted to say TAB, but it's not. It's TOB, but it's, I guess because you say Tobosa, so I think TA, but it's TO. Yeah. So if you're trying to spell it. But come on out, bring your family, bring the whole clan out to have fun, and you can, the kids and the kids at heart can play the games and have fun and eat food, win prizes, and then mom and dad or the responsible one can go talk to some of the nonprofits and things if you'd like there too. Stuff going on. That's this Saturday on the courthouse lawn, on top of the other events talking about. Of course, we got the Science and Art Festival. That's Saturday at the Convention and Civic Center. That's going to start at 10 a.m., go till 4 p.m. That's a good place to be if you want to check out the solar eclipse. They're going to have experts from NASA, and they're on hand kind of talking and explaining exactly what you're seeing as the whole eclipse progresses, because it'll start roughly around 9:30 on Saturday. Around 10:30 is the high water mark, the part where it's going to be most eclipsed, around 10:30, and then about 11:30 it should all be back to normal. So from 9:30 it's going to start the eclipse. Around 10:30 is the part where it's going to be the most blacked out, and then it's going to gradually get less, and then about 11:30 it should be back to what it normally looks like. Well, I'm a guy who does a morning show. 9:30 is not that early. You do that, yes. 9:30. If you, unless you went to bed at 8:30, you should be able to wake up at 9:30 to go be at that event. But and that'll be going on all day from 10 to 4. They're going to have arts and crafts stuff. I know Kathy Lay was on early in the week talking a lot about some of the art projects and things. They've got so much in store for families at the Science and Art Fair on Saturday. So, and that's all free too. Doesn't cost you a dime. Come on out, get you, like I said. But and then of course we had Amy on talking about the Books and Blooms event that's Saturday from 10 to 2. If you want books, be there at 10. We got glasses, so we can get you looking at the thing at 10:30. We can, first come, first serve on glasses to look at the event. Don't try to look at the eclipse without the glasses, please. That's not smart. Just there's many places they got them. Get them. Wherever you get them, get them. Don't just try to be looking at that thing without your glasses. Yeah. Well, if you're looking at it directly at any other point at the sun, it can do some damage to your eyes. And that ring of fire is going to be bright around the ring. Looking at that with the naked eye could do some damage to it. Well, you can glance and get away with it, but if you're staring at it the way you really want to, it can do some damage to your eyes. As growing up for many years of when they have eclipses and events like this, they always tell you, whether it's a lunar eclipse or solar eclipse, get the special glasses, get the special, it's just, that's what they do. So please don't look at the thing, but get the glasses. Although I've been seeing a lot of posts on social media lately talking about how the Inuits, they're up there in the tundra, how they deal with these kinds of things, because they got, well, they're Inuits, but that's their actual name, is they're the Inuits. That's their tribe or whatever they're, but they used to design their own little sunglasses, and I guess and I guess it was made out of bone, some kind of bone, and they would bone, and it would be like, I'm sure you've seen them. They look like full things you put over your eyes with these little slits
to prevent snow blindness.
Yeah, snow blindness particularly, but they also use it for things like eclipses and whatnot. But Captain Cold.
Captain Cold.
The artists spent a lot of time thinking about that.
They really did. Like,
Captain Cold.
Cold.
He's the villain to the Flash.
I feel like somebody walked in the room and was like, "Come up with a name like Captain Cold, but hipper."
It's Captain Boomerang. Not.
Does he
know.
have boomerangs?
Well, at least Captain
Was that
Boomerang's
not creative enough?
At least Captain Boomerang is two different starting with letters. Like when I say Captain Cold, that feels like all the Marvel villains, or all the Marvel characters. Like, you ever notice all the Marvel characters have the same, like, Peter Parker? They're all that.
Lex Luthor, they do tend to have a bit of an alliteration to them.
I mean, they all kind of got that going on there.
Fin Fang Foom.
Yeah. And so when Captain Cold shows up, it kind of like, put him next to Doc Ock.
Silver Surfer.
Yeah, put him next to our other amalgamations of name putting together.
Is there a colon cowboy? You don't want to know what his superpower is.
He rides real well. But so Captain Cold.
I think there's a Mole Man character who also has that exact, but he lives underground, so that's why he needs those.
Of course.
Those glasses with the slit in them.
He just doesn't have moles. Like Austin Powers. Mole. Yeah, when I hear Mole Man, that's what I think of. I don't think of a guy that lives underground that can't see.
Well, I grew up on not even Marvel characters. I grew up on Secret Squirrel, so I think of Morocco Mole.
Yeah. Rocky Bullwinkle, the whole, yeah. But you didn't like Johnny Quest.
No.
Oh, Secret
Squirrel was funny.
It's kind of that
Rocky
same.
and Bullwinkle, same thing.
Yeah,
funny.
well, it's
Dudley Do Right, same thing. It's all those cartoons. Those were laughable. Like they had some adventure to them, but it was all done in especially like Dudley Do Right, because it was all done like a stage play.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of had that like almost vaudevillian humor to it.
Yeah, I guess. You know what? Speaking of when you said Dudley Do Right, it reminded me of this. I saw it's on Amazon Prime now, and I want to watch it. Is that movie The Whale? That,
really?
That he got nominated and won the Oscars for and all that. It's on. You can watch it on Prime for free now.
That's awesome.
I think I want to see that.
I definitely wanted to check that out.
I don't know really a lot about it other than he's like a big fat guy.
I feel like
that's all I know about.
I feel like that's kind of how I want to go in, is just not really knowing the plot and just kind of taking it in, because I have a real hard time with Oscar movies. Like Oscar nominated movies tend to be like, it's like, I mean, they're fine.
Well, some of them are, but like,
I think he's like a washed up coach or something, and it's like a redemption story.
Yeah, I figured it was a redemption, but I don't know the premise other than he's a big fat guy. That's all I know.
Right.
And other than that's all I know about the movie. And he's called The Whale. Pass that. But he got all the buzz. So I'm like, I'll see it for free.
Mm-hmm.
But I noticed the other day when I was looking around for stuff, and I was like, ooh, The Whale. So, but then there's movies I'm like, oh, I should watch it now. But then I'm like, no, this might be one my wife wants to see, because I always discover these at 10 o'clock on a Friday night when she's gone to bed, and I'm just sitting here.
This is the future I was afraid of. That all these like movies that people want to see are on like 17 different streaming services, because like Strays, the movie that just came with Will Ferrell and Jamie Foxx, that's on Peacock now.
So unless you got Peacock, you can't watch it.
So it's like you really got to spread yourself thin in order to have the full experience.
Get them all, or spend.
We're giving them more money now than we were when we were on the cord.
That Strays will show up on USA Network or something here before you know it.
Who wants to watch a TV-friendly version?
Yeah, that is an R-rated movie. It probably won't resonate the same on USA Network. Maybe Comedy Central showed it.
Or parents, don't show your kids Strays. That's not one for them.
Maybe Comedy Central will show it at like 10 o'clock at night.
There you go.
When they unedit movies.
When they red band stuff.
Yeah. So we'll see. But I do want to see that. Actually, that's an animated movie I'm looking forward to seeing.
Well, that one's it's like live action, but the dogs.
Oh, is it? I thought it was animated. I couldn't. remember.
The dogs. I think the dogs' mouths move.
Oh, okay. I was thinking it was animated.
Their mouths are animated.
Is that what it is? Okay. All right, that might be Nightmare.
It's like
Fuel,
that.
I don't know. That usually doesn't end up well when they do that kind of stuff.
It's like that George Lopez Chihuahua movie.
That was visceral response from both of us. I hated Beverly Hills Chihuahua. That was a terrible movie.
That was an hour and a half of life you do not get back.
What?
And we should have known. We should have known going in.
Oh, yeah.
All the signs were there, and we walked in and watched that stupid thing anyway.
There was a 4-year period where we let some really hokey comedy through.
Speaking of hokey comedies, I watched the Wedding Singer at the cinema.
Yeah, I saw that was on the big screen.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Which you know the cinema's hard up when they're like, hey, let's just go digging through the vault, see what we have.
Well, considering that movie's on like cable TV every other day.
But it's the idea of the cinematic experience of seeing.
But I've
it
never
in-
watched it front to
It
back.
ain't Star Wars.
Have you never?
Not front to back, no.
Your name's
Like-
going to be Julia Gulia. It's one of my favorite movies of all time.
Quick, set up the obstacle course for the limousine.
There were cones.
There were cones.
I don't know. That's just one movie I never thought that needs to be shown on the big screen.
Right? you see that in the lineup, you're like, what would I do?
It's a chick flick.
Oh,
Now that-
hardcore.
now that I'm
It's like
finding
the
out.
quintessential chick flick.
It's a couple
But it's also, if you grew up in the 80s, it's right in that vein. It hits that vein, you know?
That's officially a couple comedy because Adam Sandler knows he has trouble, to get dudes to come to these, you've got to put a little humor in it. So these are the real quintessential couple comedy movies.
Nick, can you take my Def Leppard shirt off before you curse the band and they break up?
Yeah.
Just going to keep throwing quotes out.
We got to go.
Yeah, we do.
Don't forget Goddard football tonight, beginning kickoff at 7 on 106.1 FM Fierro, audio only, ksvptv.com as well. And we'll have that for you beginning about 7 o'clock tonight. Have an amazing day. Thank you oh so much for allowing us to be a part of your day. We greatly do appreciate it. We'll be back 7 a.m. bright and early tomorrow morning with an all-new show. Till then, take care.
No static at all. Your new home for talk radio is KEND Roswell.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm John Scott. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says he's grateful that Secretary of State Antony Blinken has come to support Israel.
My good friend Tony, thank you for your important visit here today. Thank you. Thank President Biden. And thank you to the American people for your incredible support for Israel in our war against the barbarians of Hamas.
Blinken's support to Israel came as its military pulverized the Hamas-ruled Gaza Strip with airstrikes and prepared for a possible ground invasion. The war has now claimed at least 2,700 lives on both sides. Also at townhall.com, the UAW expanding its strike to include a Ford truck plant in Kentucky. Lisa Dwyer has more.
The United Auto Workers Union has significantly escalated its walkout against 3 Detroit automakers by going on strike against a major Ford truck plant in Louisville, Kentucky. In a surprise move, the 8,700 members walked out at about 6:30 p.m. The plant makes the profitable heavy-duty F-Series pickup trucks and large SUVs. Ford called the strike expansion grossly irresponsible. The UAW began striking against General Motors, Ford, and Stellantis on September 15th. About 25,000 workers out of 146,000 have walked off their jobs at the 3 automakers. I'm Lisa Dwyer.
An early morning storm system that moved across parts of Florida left a path of damage to cars, houses, and businesses. Police in Clearwater say no one was injured when a possible tornado touched down around 2 a.m. local time. On Wall Street, the Dow is down 18 points, and the NASDAQ is ahead 41 points. More at townhall.com.